Okay. Things should be good, but I'm gonna check the stream quality. Cause if I fucked up somehow, I'll have no way of knowing throughout the entire stream. Let me check. How's the sound quality, y'all? Is it good? I'm just gonna assume it's good. It says in my OBS that it's fine. So I think we're okay. I think. No promises though. I'm gonna wait for everyone to get in here before we get started, cause there's a lot I want to talk about today. We're not gonna get through it all, that's for sure. Actually, let me get my control panel. Hello everyone. Hello David. Let me get the stream up so I can see everyone's messages. So how's this gonna work? Is I've got a lot of stuff lined up. I've got stuff from 2025 that I watched that came out in 2025. I've got stuff that's not from 2025, but I watched it for the first time. Anyway, like Vinland Saga, for example. I was thinking that we start off with the anime-only stuff first. Oh yeah, we've got Daredevil Born Again to cover. We're gonna go through anime-only first. Then once we've covered all the anime-only stuff, we'll go to everything else because I haven't watched too much anime stuff. So we'll start off with Vinland Saga because we might as well. I don't have too much to say about Vinland Saga. And this isn't going to be a ranking, by the way. I'm just gonna go through this. I'm gonna give it a number score, and then we're gonna move on. Yeah, I watched a lot of anime last year. I watched too much anime, and a lot of it I'm just not bothered to cover. I'm only gonna cover the main stuff. We ain't covering Demon Slayer though. Fuck Demon Slayer. Everyone I've heard talk about Demon Slayer. Oh shit. Everyone who I've heard talk about Demon Slayer has been like, yeah, it's good, but it's also fucking ass. I remember when that movie came out last year, and everyone was telling me it's good. It's really good. I looked at the runtime. It was like two and a half hours. I'm not watching that. I'm not watching that for a thing. I don't even know a single thing about Demon Slayer. I was not gonna watch that movie. Yeah, I've heard it's full of flashbacks. So many flashbacks. I can't be bothered for that. I have a rule in media that if you do not use flashbacks in a way that forwards the narrative properly, and you just use them for the sake of flashbacks, I ain't watching your thing. But I've got this going at 0.6 speed, so hopefully, I'm praying that like YouTube doesn't strike me down. But anyway, so I watched Demon Slayer last year for the first, Vinland Saga. I've got so much shit on my mind. I watched Vinland Saga for the first time last year, and I think I've been recommended that I watch this for, 2 years now? Ever since Season 2 came out, which was 3 years ago, everyone has been telling me, I've been getting comments on my video, that I need to, on my videos, that I need to cover Demon Slayer, Vinland Saga, because it's really fucking good. And it wasn't until, David, who's in the chat now, was like, you need to watch it. I'm like, yeah, I'll give it a shot. So I watched Season 1, and out of the two, I think I prefer Season 2 more. I think Season 2 is more my jam. I'm really a sucker for really slow burn stories that have incredible payoffs. It's so good. The first season is really nice and how it contrasts with Season 2. The animation is incredible, by the way. Mappa worked on Season 2, and you can tell by, how many families, how many animators at Mappa never got to go home and see their children. But The presentation, the quality, everything. It's so good. Everything on a presentation level is perfect. And then in season 1, I don't think I was like too invested in it until, you know, Thorfinn's father gets into that fight with Askeladd. The dynamic between Askeladd and Thorfinn is incredible. It's what kept me invested in season 1. And I'm sure it's what kept everyone invested in season 2. Actually not in season 2, but like during the flashbacks in season 2. Because throughout season 1, you're wondering where the fuck is this gonna go. Is Thorfinn gonna defeat Askeladd? Is Askeladd gonna defeat Thorfinn? And then the ending is like everything leads up. It culminates into that one ending where it's Askeladd the prince and Thorfinn. And the way it culminates is so good. And I'm not even gonna lie, like I'm not as high on season 1 of Vinland as everyone else. I think the whole action aspect of most anime, it's not for me. I don't like when an anime gets too action heavy. But I think there was enough character moments for me to like keep me invested throughout. But the final episode of season 1 is perfect, and it perfectly leads into season 2, which is just a really slow burn. It's the exact opposite of Thorfinn. Thorfinn is a completely different person. He's trying to not kill anyone anymore. He's trying not to be a little psychopath, killing everyone in his name. And he's trying to atone for the sins of what he's done, because his father did not want that for him. He didn't want him to like go on this path of revenge. And it's like in season 1, where it's like, oh, his character seems really static, and that's the point. The point is that he's going through all that revenge, and his character remains static until that final episode where Askeladd gets killed and his entire life gets changed. Because he kind of realizes after that point that he kind of killed all those people. He kind of pillaged all these fucking people for nothing. And it's kind of depressing seeing how he is in season 2, because he's trying his best, but there's a couple of times where he absolutely loses it. And one of my favorite episodes in season 2 is just this dream sequence where he talks with Askeladd and all the fucking dead people he's killed. It's so good, and the dynamic, I forget fucking this guy's name right here, but the dynamic between him and Thorfinn throughout the entire season is so good. The best part of this show, apart from the animation, is the character moments. That, like, the characters are what carry this show hard, and every single character in this show is perfect. I would not have it any other way. If I were to rate Aina, yeah, that's right. What happens in the back half of season 2 is fucking crazy. Season 2, like, the second half of season 2 absolutely goes nuts. And it makes that first half, which is very slow and methodical and explores all the character moments, it really pays off into something great. And I'm really excited for season 3. It's not gonna happen. Mappa's not animating that shit. We're never seeing season 3. It's been, 3 years? And we haven't seen anything? We haven't even heard, like, of a trailer for season 3 of Vinland Saga. That shit's not getting animated. I can pray. I can hope. I did say that I'd read the manga for this, and I haven't read too much. Like, I've caught up in the manga, to where season 2 ends, but I haven't read any further than that. But from what David's told me, it's very good. It ends very well. It's all perfect. I just want season 3, man. If I were to rate this, I'd probably give it a 10. I think season 1 is like a 9. I don't really like some parts of season 1, not for the fact of it's bad. It's just like parts of it are not my cup of tea. Season 2 though is a 10. It's one of the best it's one of the best anime seasons I've seen in my life. I 100% stand by that. I need season 3, otherwise I'm going to I will go to Mappa and I will riot, because I've had enough. I've fucking had enough. It's a 10. This show is a 10. Make season 3 already, or we riot. Another one I watched recently. I don't have to go at 0.6 speed. I watched Dragon Ball. I didn't even watch all of it. A friend and I were like, hey, let's try and go through Dragon Ball, and one my friend was doing it for an edit so he could cut all the filler down and, you know, make it into a better paced version. So I watched the first arc and then the Namek arc, and oh my god. If you watch this without watching the better paced version, Dragon Ball Z Kai, you are gonna have a terrible time with it. Most of the time, Goku ain't even in this show. He gets like killed off 5 episodes in, and the rest of the show is him just gone. Like the rest of the cast, we trying to figure out a way to get rid of these death-defying threats. And meanwhile, Goku's on Snake Way. He's like, I'm on my way, guys. I'm coming back. And then he doesn't come back for 20 episodes. And when he does come back, it's the most raw shit ever. But goddamn, those 20 episodes suck ass. They're so boring. Goku is literally... Everyone talks about Invincible being a bum. This fucker's a bum right here. He disappears for like 20 episodes, and then he comes back to save the day. And you know what's crazy? I was like, okay, well, since we got that, surely the Namek arc will be different, right? No, it's the same shit. Goku disappears for like 24 episodes. He comes back, and he's like, don't worry, guys, I'm on my way. The only reason Dragon Ball Z works is because they need to write Goku out of every situation, because Goku can just one-shot everyone easy. He GG combos everyone easy when he comes in. But the problem is, he can't be around, otherwise the season's gonna be really short, so we fucking... they waste their fucking time with this, like, filler-ass arc of... I don't know, there's this one, they focus on this one, like, really overweight guy, and his whole thing is that he likes to eat. That's an episode. It almost gets so bad to the point where it's, like, One Piece levels of pacing, where it's, like, 5 episodes dedicated to nothing. And then halfway through Season 2, we were like, fuck it, we're switching to Dragon Ball Z Kai, and the pacing is so much better. It's so much better. The episodes are so much more enjoyable. I don't feel like I'm gonna die. Although I haven't really gotten that far after the second arc. I was kind of like, I think I've seen enough. I think I've seen all I need to see. Like, I'm kind of getting the gist of, like, Goku disappears, like, every season for a set amount of episodes, and then he comes in to save the day. It's kind of boring. I honestly don't get the hype for it. Maybe if I stuck it out longer, but... That's the thing with these really old anime, like One Piece or Dragon Ball or Bleach, where it's really like everyone holds it to such a high regard, but the only way you get the good stuff is if you watch 500 episodes, and I'm not doing that. They should do a Demon Slayer and stretch 4 pages to a chapter. Oh yeah, that's basically what they do. And apparently the manga's like really good. It's just the show does not know how to, because, you know, of course, it's a kid's cartoon back in the day. So they couldn't, you know, they couldn't just, like, make it into, like, what Invincible's doing, you know, they make it into, like, a really well-paced, well-stretched arc, which we'll cover Invincible when we get to it. I've already, I think I've already talked enough about Invincible, but I didn't really give it a score, and I didn't really criticize too much of Season 3. I do have criticisms for Season 3 of Invincible, but we'll get to them. Alright, before we get to Chainsaw Man, I need to talk about Jujutsu Kaisen, because I watched... Oh wait, I didn't give Dragon Ball a score. It's a 4. I'm gonna be generous and say it's a 4, because it was really funny watching that, the entire 2 seasons. Like, without a friend, if I had to watch this without a friend, it would go down by 2 points. I'm serious when I say that. It's the same for One Piece. If you watch it with a friend, it is really fun. If you watch it by yourself, it goes down by, like, 5 points. So, 4 out of 10. I'm only covering these ones mainly because I watched both of them in theaters, and there's also JJK Season 3, which I'm gonna talk about, but I'm planning on making a video on it. So I'm not gonna go too in-depth into the Culling Games, because I'm planning on making a video on it. Same with, what is it, Andor? I watched Season 2 of Andor, and I will talk about it. But since I've got, like, a whole ass analysis video, because I've got, like, a 4-part analysis video coming out, I'm not gonna go too in-depth into it. Dragon Ball, yeah, it's literally just a 4-0, yeah. He doesn't come in until, like, 10,000 episodes later. It's really annoying. So I'll briefly talk about Hidden Inventory, although everything, it looks so good, and there's not too much I can really say about it, because it literally is just Jujutsu Kaisen Season 3's, like, first arc in movie 9.5. Now we've got Execution. Yeah, exactly. You're not him, Mark. This movie kinda ass. Because half of this is, just recap, and it's not even good recap. It's really shitty recap, because, all of this is just a hype moments and aura compilation from Season 2. The amount of time that is spent on Choso and Yuji is 5 seconds in the movie, and then they move past it. Like, look, this is the amount of time he's in the trailer is the amount of time he's in the movie. They don't mention him at all. Like, it does not do a good job at recapping everything that happened in Shibuya. Instead, it's all the deaths, it's all the fights, and then that's it. They highlight none of the emotional moments, and it really sucks. I will admit, it's really cool. Again, like the Hidden Inventory arc and Premature Death, it's really cool seeing it on the big screen. It's kind of an ass recap, though, from a narrative standpoint, because it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. I will say, though, that the 2 episodes that we do get are really good. The 2 episodes we get from the Execution movie makes the shitty recap all worth it. I kind of enjoyed the recap, but, like, looking back on it, it's just not good. Yeah. Surprisingly, I didn't see many people in the theater for that movie. Oh, actually, that's not that surprising. It was probably just the word that got around that, like, the movie was recap, so everyone was like, fuck it. It's really weird because Choso plays such a big part in Season 3, and they just can him in the movie. They don't pay attention to him at all. Like, it's so jarring seeing him not at all for the first half of the movie, and then the second half of the movie, he appears. It was packed. I went to, like, my most popular theater, and for some reason, I think it was because I saw it on a weekday in the middle of the day, so not many people would have seen it. But, yeah, it's fine. We'll talk about the first 2 episodes when we talk about the Culling Games, because I'm going to talk about the Culling Games, everything to that point. But yeah, it's like, I think at the time I give it, what, like a 7? What did I give this fucking movie? What did I give this movie? Jujutsu Kaisen. I probably gave this shit like a 7 or something, because I had a good time. I was basing it purely on the fact that, 7. I'll probably give it a 5. Looking back on it. Like, it is just, it's not that great. The first 2 episodes carry it hard. And then that's it. So, 5 out of 10. Now we can finally get to the good stuff. So, look at the animation quality for this, like, hold on, this isn't as promising. This part right here, it goes so hard. It does not need to go that hard. And, of course, it goes without saying, where is the Maki? Where's Maki? That's all I care about at the moment. The dog, Luther. Where's the dog? This is the best episode of JJK, without a doubt. It has so much sauce to it. The character of, like, everything about Maki's character is culminated into that point, and is so fucking raw. that shit is so raw when it happens, where she just kills her entire clan. And the music for it as well. It's so weird. It's not what you would expect for like for something so emotional, because she's going through like this entire clan, slashing them, dicing them up, and the music's like boom, 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 but like it's fucking club beats in the background, and it oddly works. Not to mention the like the visual style, the way this show communicates like visuals is really good. Like, there's so much symbolism that I didn't pick up the first time I watched it. I rewatched a couple of episodes, and I was like, damn, I didn't pick up on that earlier. Megumi's actually less of a bum in this season, which is kind of weird. He's gonna become a bum again. I know he does. Once a bum, always a bum. But I'm kind of happy that Megumi is not a bum, not as much as a bum anymore. He's kind of holding himself through. But when that second half comes, when Sukuna comes, and he does that thing, that's high tier bum status, I'm not gonna lie. That shit with Sukuna and Megumi, that's high tier bum status. You can't come back for that. So I don't know if I can rate this yet, because the first half of part 1 isn't finished yet. So I might not rate this. I'll just say it's really good. It's not season 2 good. I would say that the presentation quality is better than season 2 though. For sure. But I can't rate this because it's not done. And I'm planning on making this into a video anyway. This this one, it feels weird talking about this one this early, because this is my favorite movie of the year. This is the best movie of the year, apart from Life of Chuck, which I don't know if I'll talk about Life of Chuck in this video. I kind of already talked about it in the past. If you want to know why Life of Chuck is one of my favorite movies of the year, just watch it. But this movie is so good. Shut up, Red. Shut up, Red. Okay. We do not speak bad about Chainsaw Man here. This is my time to. Oh fuck. God damn it. When I say don't fucking talk bad about Chainsaw Man, the fucking anime titties pop up. God damn it. God damn it. This ain't helping my case. I think this movie helped people realize, because people who didn't see Chainsaw Man, people who didn't know anything about Chainsaw Man before they watched this movie, they're like, oh, this is just a fucking Gooner anime, you know? Only Gooners watch this. And then they watch the Reze arc, and everyone... I saw some fucking LARPers in the Chainsaw Man community. I'm like, I haven't seen you in here before. You're not a fucking... Nah. Red, you will be convinced one day. We'll be brainwashing you soon enough. But like, anyone who watched this movie changed their mind about Chainsaw Man so fast. Because only season 1 came out, and I'm not gonna lie, season 1 is by far the weakest part of Chainsaw Man. Even, I rewatched the entire season in preparation for the Reze arc. It is not as good. It is the weakest part of the entire series. I think I like it a lot more, but I would still probably give it like an 8 or a 9. The rest of the entire series is a 10. A 10 for sure. This whole movie is a fucking 10. I love how this movie looks. I was not so sure about how I would feel about this movie looking. I don't blame you. It's a really good animated movie. It's in my top 5 for sure. I was not sure about the change in art style, because I really liked the kind of realistic art style. Chainsaw Man season 1. Like, I really like the kind of realistic art style that they went for in season 1. The kind of almost realism take on it. It looks really cool, and the way it's directed looks so good. And I wasn't really sure how I felt about this, because it could have gone, it could have gone either way, but I was immediately convinced when I watched this movie in the theater. First 5 minutes, I was sold. Yeah, both art styles are good. I do not mind this change at all. if this helps more people watch Chainsaw Man, I'm in. Because the art styles work perfectly. It looks more like the manga, sure. Baby's first anime movie. I will kill you, Red. I'm gonna riot your house. And it's kind of crazy because both Fujimoto movies I've seen have made me cry in theaters. Not even joking. I watched Look Back, and admittedly, both of these movies came out at a time that fucking ruined me because both movies came out the worst time possible. Look Back came out like when my mother and my best friend died, like 5 months after, so it obviously had a big impact on me. And it's so good. It's so good. It's so good. And then I watched the Reze arc in a really I don't know, kind of like lonely time in my life. I've had my heart broken by relationships in the past. As many of my friends know, I've not had a great relationship with women. And David definitely knows, and a couple of you have been around for a while definitely know that as well. So I think this movie really resonated with me, especially with Denji's character of him trying to find out what love is, trying to he's slowly realizing that the bare necessities that he has, which he thinks are great, are just that, they're bare necessities. He should be wanting more from life, and that's okay. Look Back is great. Look Back's amazing. It's an hour long, and it does wonders with its runtime. I wish I made a review of Look Back at the time, but I was just not in the right mood, and it's just such an emotion. It's such a personal project that I wouldn't know what to say about it because it feels so personal to Fujimoto that I don't know how I'd review it. So, but this movie is really personal to me. Like, I can relate very heavily to Denji as a character, especially in a lot of ways. I won't go into much detail, but I think really the narrative really stuck with me as a whole, especially with the relationship between Reze and Makima. I really like the scene in the movie where Denji and Makima just watch like these movies, and all of them are shit except for this one movie. And there's like this whole talk about like, well, maybe what made that movie good, like even more rewarding, was the 10 movies that you watched before it. You know, that the world is better off with bad movies in it. That's what makes the world so great. And Makima completely disagrees. She wishes that there were no bad movies in the world. And it's that whole theme in Chainsaw Man that that Makima wants to erase all bad in the world, but sometimes things being bad are a good thing. Sometimes the bad things help you appreciate the good things. And I think like from coming from like someone who reviews movies all the time, the like 10 bad movies, 1 good movie thing, it's so real. It's so fucking real. The amount of movies I watch, especially from this year, that were mostly just shit or mid, and I watched like a really good movie. It's so relatable, and it's, oh my god, the cinema, the ideologies between Denji and Makima are so great, and the lengths that Denji is putting himself through for Makima is really insane, and I just love because I love how they take their time with this movie. They don't get into the action immediately. They spend their time. They spend like 50 minutes developing the characters, developing this relationship between Reze and Denji, and it's so complicated and beautiful. And then it's an hour of action. And this movie's kind of crazy because when I first watched it in theaters, I was like, okay, this action scene's been going on for quite a bit. It went soon though. It went soon. And then 30 minutes later, I'm like, guys, I don't think this. I turned to my friends. I'm like, guys, I don't think this action scene's gonna be over anytime soon. 30 minutes later, ends finally. Not even finally. I was just amazed because usually, a lot of movies have a lot of mindless action to them, right? A lot of the action in every movie is so like is really mindless. It's just action for the sake of action. But every single scene in the Reze arc has action that is purposeful. Every action is so deliberate and so meaningful. It has so much weight behind it that it's beautiful. It's what makes rewatching the movie 10 times better, because you can appreciate the action so much more on the other than the basis of, oh, it looks good. Oh, I guess it looks good, and and it does. The action looks great, but there's so much more behind it, and of course the death of Reze is really emotional. Like, it's very emotionally impactful. It hits really fucking hard. Yeah, everyone haunted. Yeah, they ain't ready for what happens behind that door. I won't say anything, but anyone who's gone up to that point in the manga is like, fuck. Because the Reze death, like, they handle it so much better than they did in the manga, because the manga is just like a few chapters. It's like 3 chapters, and then that's it. They move on. They somehow managed to make her character so much more impactful and meaningful, and she was still really impactful in the manga. And it's all really sad, especially the scene of Denji waiting at the flower shop, and Power comes in, and she's that. It's so fucking sad. And the fact is that Power didn't know where Denji was. Power had no idea. So that just solidifies the fact that Power was looking for Denji for the entire day because she was worried about him. Of course, she gives off the attitude that she doesn't care about Denji, but that scene is so meaningful in the fact that she does care about Denji. And the fact that Denji was willing to run away with her, to spend the rest of his life with Reze, it's so tragic. I'm not getting over this movie. I'm not getting over it anytime soon. I'm gonna rewatch it whenever I feel like this movie is really good for whenever you have a really bad day. Because it's just gonna make it worse. That's all of Fujimoto's movies. Look Back, I watch whenever I'm feeling kind of uninspired, kind of down, kind of like unmotivated, because it reminds me that no matter what, you just keep going. This movie is just, I don't know, it's kind of reassuring in the fact that at the end of the day, life still goes on. And there's that whole, like, I'll stop talking about this movie in a second. But the symbolism of, like, Denji having a heart with, like, the flowers and everything, and it proves that he has a heart. And he uses, and when he, throws up the flower in front of Reze, it's really meaningful, but it's even more meaningful to Reze when she passes that same flower shop and she realizes that he used his, like, dollar to donate to a charity and everything. It's so, oh my god. Yeah, exactly. Whatever kind of day you're having, Denji's having a worse one that's 10 times worse. Anyway, I'm giving this movie a 10. I've ranted about it long enough. It's good. You all know it's good. Except for Red. Fuck you, Red. I love you. But also fuck you. Let's talk about the pit. Let's talk about the pit. We're done with the anime now. We're done with the big 3. The big 4, actually. Unless you count Dragon Ball, then it'll be the big 5, but let's so the pit is, if not for Pluribus and Andor, it would probably be my show of the year. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of went into this one thinking like, oh yeah, it's just gonna be another medical drama. It's kind of like, it's gonna be like House, in the same way, where it's just gonna be like one of those medical shows that just plays up drama for no reason, just has really contrived bullshit in it. And then I watched it, and admittedly, it took me a bit to get into it, because I had like I was still kind of in the mindset, like I was very cautious of the show for the first 5 or 6 episodes. I was very cautious of, like, this could go into medical slop territory. That's what we're naming this genre of TV. We're calling it medical slop, because that's what it is. This genre of TV is medical slop, and I was very worried about this show delving into that territory of having really contrived drama between the characters, but everything is so naturally um built up in the show. Every single piece of character drama is so naturally built up, and it's not until episode 7 happens, which is, the main twist of the show. I won't say it. I won't say what it is. But that's when things get serious, and you realize, like, holy shit, I really care about all these characters. I really like all these characters here. And that's the main hook of the show, like the character draw. If you do not care about the characters, you will not care about this show. And thankfully, the show does an excellent job at developing all the characters. There is this one weird scene, though, about, like, Israel just donating medical supplies to the hospital. It's, like, the weirdest scene in season 1. It's probably accurate, because I imagine Israel does weird shit like that all the time. But it is kind of jarring when I saw that. I was like, hold up, what the fuck? Other than that, the show's perfect. I have no notes. I was very worried. I'm up to date with season 2 now, and I'm not gonna spoil anything that happens in season 2. But I was very worried about it being a repeat of season 1, and for the most part, it kind of is. I don't mind it because it's the second season. I don't mind if it kind of repeats the same elements, but since it's getting renewed for season 3, I would like to see a bit more of something that refreshes it, something that changes the status quo. It's like The Bear, because the first 2 seasons of The Bear are really good, but even they were like, we need to change up the status quo. They knew that before, they knew that even before season 3 came out, that they had to change it, because otherwise it would be repetitive as fuck. They need to do that for season 3, otherwise I have, like, a rule with this show that every time they're going to repeat a season, like, they're going to repeat something like this, the season goes down by a point. So season 3 would be 8 out of 10, season 4 would be a 7, and if they keep on doing that, that's just how it's gonna go. Yeah, I love the real-time gimmick. I love how everything is sectioned off into hours. It really just shows how fucking stressful it is being in that sort of environment, be it like being a doctor in the ER. It really helps with the show's pacing, because it's just like, Jesus, we're not even like 4 hours into the shift and this shit is going down. I really like it. I think the character stuff in season 2 is basically on par, except for Mel. Mel's character is kind of shallow at the moment. It could change. But because Mel's character in season 1 is great, and then her character's kind of just reduced to worrying about a certain plot point, and I kind of don't care, because that's all she talks about when she comes into frame in season 2. She's like, guys, I'm not gonna lie, I'm worried about this plot point, and then the character's like, don't worry, it's okay, nothing will happen, and then they go on with the day, and then the next episode, it's like, guys, I'm really worried about this plot point. And everyone's like, it's okay, Mel. It's kind of sad how she's been reduced to that, but I hope she gets better treatment. That's all I'm gonna say about The Pit. Because I'm giving a non-spoiler of it, because I'm aware that season 2 is barely out, and not many people have seen it. When people are still trying to get into it, so I'm trying to avoid spoilers. However, what I'll say is this: season 1 is a 10. I won't give a rating for season 2 yet. Maybe we'll do another catch-up stream in future, for everything that I watched in 2026, and we'll come back to this. But season 2 is really good so far. Of course, bit less as good as than season 1, but it's still up there. Let's see. What movie do we cover? Oh, we're covering Severance. We're covering Severance next. I'm sorry to say. Fuck all these other ones. Yeah, The Pit is... Yeah, that's also why I didn't want to spoil it, because The Pit is on David's list, and I don't want to spoil anything. But watch The Pit. It's good. Season 1's a 10. Let's talk about Severance. I have had a very complicated relationship with season 2 of Severance, because season 1 is perfect. I watched season 1 as it was releasing. Like, I think by the time the second episode came out of Severance, I was watching it. So I was an early releaser. And I remember this show getting no attention when season 1 came out. No one fucking talked about this show. No one talked about it. Like, when the finale aired, which was the craziest shit ever, I saw nothing. It was crickets on Twitter. And then season 2's marketing happened, and everyone talked about it, and it has been great for, like, the show's health, but it's also been terrible because the weirdos have found Severance now. The normies have found Severance, and now they're being lame about it. And I don't like it. I wish Severance was an indie show again. I miss my Apple TV shows not being marketed. I don't want it to be marketed. Everyone's found out about Severance now, and I hate it. So yeah, I think season 1 of Severance is a 10. This season's a bit different. I don't think season 2 is perfect. Season 2 has a lot of problems structurally, and a lot of problems with, like, what it focuses on its characters. And I have been coping about it for, like, fucking almost a year now. But I think I gotta admit that season 2 is a bit of a step down. Production-wise, presentation-wise, it is better than season 1. It looks better. There's that one take, like, and they prove to you it's better from fucking minute 1. The first minute in the show is a 2-minute oneer that they do fucking crazy high angles over. They're like, yeah, we're back. We're back after 3 years. That, like, my grandpa still got it in him. The goats still got it in him. And then, like, I think the first 3 episodes are really good. Because the first episode, you get the innies perspective. Second episode, the outies perspective. Third episode, it culminates into both. And Mark gets severed, which is a really interesting plot point. And then they kind of forget about it. They kind of forget that Mark gets, like, he gets, like, what is it, reintegrated? I forget what the term is. But Mark gets reintegrated, and it's kind of, they kind of forget, they, like, they after that plot point, they move on to Willow's Hollow, whatever the fuck. And then it becomes an Irving-centric episode. The structure for this season is so bad. Because Helly is supposed to, like, in season 1, Helly was introduced as, like, this anchor point for the audience for our POV to go through. In season 2, they have none of that because otherwise the twist wouldn't work. Because the whole twist for the first half of season 2 is that Helly isn't Helly. She's Helena, she's her Audi infiltrating the severed floor. And unfortunately, the reason why that's a bad thing is because half the season just doesn't focus on Helly. And when she does come back, her character kind of takes a bit of a backseat. So not only do we get no Helly basically for the first half, but we get less of her in the second half. And that's the same with the side characters. Like, the side characters kind of take a backseat. It's a very Mark and Gemma-focused season, and unfortunately, it kind of suffers for it in areas because there are other things that this season wants to focus on, and they just don't, like, some of them just don't get as much time. They try to, and I think for what they can do, because structurally this season is weird, and I think they did the best they could with it, with the time and the budget and everything they were given. But because, like, obviously you need to write Irving out of the show, like, Irving's character out of the show somehow. But they don't know how to do that without inserting it weirdly into the story. It's the same thing with the, what is it? The, Cobell episode. Because I think the Cobell episode's great. I think it's a perfect episode. But it's just placed weirdly. Because you get a bottle episode before, Cobell's episode, and then Cobell's episode is another bottle episode. It's just very weird structurally. And I think all that build, like, it's, I think on rewatch, I think it's fine. I think when it released weekly, I think it definitely had more of an effect on audience. But when you're binging it, it's whatever. Who gives a fuck, right? Because it goes by. But I will say that like it's just not as consistent as season 1 in terms of structure and pacing and character wise. However, I will say that this season does have bigger high points. The Gemma episode. Oh shit! I forgot to restart this. The Gemma episode is one of the best episodes in the show. Cold Harbor is the best episode by far. The little dance that Mr. Milchick does. Milchick is the best character in the show, by the way. This guy rules. Like, where is he? There he is. There's my goat right here. Milchick is amazing. He's the best part. Every single scene with him is comedy gold. This guy looks like he's gonna crash the fuck out in every scene in season 2, and it's really funny. Because he's trying his best, and I actually like his little plot line of him dealing with racism in the workplace, because you can tell he fucking hates this place. He really hates this place, but it's his job, and he's really good at it. Yeah, the paintings are so funny. Blackface Kier made me it was so uncomfortable, but it was one of the funniest thing. Like, it was so out of pocket for the show. That whole plot line where Dylan's character had to try and find a job because he got fired from the Severed place out of nowhere, and then he went to this door company, and and then he said, like, what's your favorite kind of door? And he said a pocket door. So fucking dumb. I love it. Everything about this show, this show is still a masterpiece. Don't get it twisted, right? Just because I think season 2 is a step down from season 1 does not mean that season 2 is not perfect. Oh, well, not close to it. Because this scene is it's one of my favorite scenes in the entire show. The confrontation between Helena and Mark. Oh, I love that. And I'm so excited to see how they're going to continue this in season 3, because I have no idea how they're going to do it. Because they're definitely going to be focusing on Miss Casey or Gemma for the first episode. I have that in my mind without a doubt. The first episode's going to be a Gemma focused episode. After that, I have no idea, because they're going to have to try and get Mark out of Lumen, which he's definitely going to be trapped inside Lumen. There's no way they're letting him out. And apparently, Ben Stiller isn't returning for season 3, which is fine. It's not his show anyway. I think, I forgot the guy's name, but it's not Ben Stiller's show. That belongs to the other guy. So, that's all well and good. I don't know. Yeah, the final episode is fucking crazy. Yeah, it should stop around. If it doesn't end at around season 4 or 5, I'm gonna get really mad, because I do love this premise, but I don't want it to be dragged out. I think the rate that they are going is really good. It's really well paced. Just please end it soon. Do not make spin-offs of this show. I've seen Apple saying that there might be future spin-offs. You are just ruining the mystery. It's like what Lost did. Lost is the more Lost went on, the more the mystery was ruined. The reason why Severance works so well is because there is so much mystery behind it, and I hope they do not solve every single mystery. Like the stuff with the goats, I like that reveal. However, I do hope they keep some things just, at least open-ended. Like, you kind of have an answer, but you kind of don't. The weird, the secret panelings in the Severed floor as well. Like, there's just secret rooms. That's so cool. Oh yeah, Stranger Things. Thank God we ain't talking about that. I did not watch season 5. Thank fuck. This is how you do a second season. This is how you do a mystery show. It's really good. I don't know what else to say about it. I think I've covered everything. Presentation's great. The acting's amazing. Honestly, there was a lot of great acting from everyone last year, but Mark's actor and Helena's actor, Helly's actor, amazing. They deserve their roses. I will not watch it. I refuse. I refuse to watch that show. I only rewatched season 1 of Stranger Things recently. I liked it, and I was like, you know what? That's enough Stranger Things for me for a lifetime. And then I never watched it again. I saw like the first 4 seasons as they were releasing, and after season 4, I was like, that's enough for me. Because I know when I knew when season 5 would come out that I wouldn't like it, and from what I've heard about it, I know I won't like it. Low cortisol levels moment. I can keep my cortisol levels low, so long as I don't watch Stranger Things season 5. Anyway, I'm giving the show a 9. The season 2 of Severance gets a 9. I'm very, like, even though this is a step down, I will still watch season 1 and 2 of Severance any day of the week. It is so good. This is such a unique premise for a show, and I think that deserves props. It is more explosive than season 1, but it deserves props for how fucking unique the show is. Like, it is so fucking weird and twisty, and it's so creative and experimental. I love it. 9 out of 10. I don't know what we'll talk about next. Actually, we'll get this out of the way. We'll get Years out of the way. Because, I already made a review on this movie, and I think everything I said about Years stays the same. I don't think there's anything about Years that I would change. I still think... I actually like the ending of Years more, now that it's been recontextualized in Bone Temple. However, I think that the way they find out about the Doctor is kind of silly. I think that the military plotline is kind of dumb, especially since, like, the commentary on, like, the plastic surgery shit was really weird. I don't know, there's not much I can really say about Years, other than just to revisit it and say, yeah, this is what I think of it, this is my score. However, I do have more to say about the Bone Temple. I'm just using this as a prelude for the Bone Temple, because I want to talk about that. This is, like, the coolest looking zombie movie of all time, though. This is the best looking zombie movie. Red, you've seen a lot of zombie movies. You've been watching zombie movies. You can say for certain, like, I think you can agree that this is the best looking zombie movie. The way it uses its camera, the infrared scenes are fucking cool. The way the kill cams are all matrixy like, so cool. Oh my god, best looking zombie movie. And part of the issue I have with Bone Temple is that it just doesn't look as good. But we'll get to that. I think this movie tries to be 2 different movies in one, which is why the middle section feels odd, because the first half of the movie feels like The Last of Us. Second half is just completely different. It's you know, fucking Alex or whatever the fuck his name is, trying to protect his mother, to get him to Dr. Kelson. That, like, first section is great, third section is great, middle section I don't care for. Every time it goes to the midpoint, because I rewatched 28 Years Later recently, and I started watching it, I'm like, damn, this shit kind of fire. Then we get to the midsection, I'm like, oh, okay, I don't care. I'm bored. When's this gonna end? And then we get to the third act, and I'm like, oh, the good part's back. The good stuff is here. The ending is incredible. I really like it. The ending I've come around to entirely. I really like the ending to Years now because of the Bone Temple. Unfortunately, the Bone Temple has problems as well. I'd still probably keep this as an 8 out of 10 though. I think it's like same as I had it. Maybe I like it a bit more. Maybe I might give it an 8.5, but I think overall it's around the same quality for me. Bone Temple's a different beast, because on one hand, I think it's better than 28 Years Later, but on the other, I think it's worse, and I don't know what to decide. I've rewatched this movie 3 times. And every time my experience with it has been different. The first time, I think that this movie was great. I love the Dr. Kelson and Samson plotline. The way they explore the infection in these movies is so interesting. Because these movies are all about humanity. Like, because the first 28 Days movie is all about hope and hopefully regaining that hope. And the ending of the movie is about sometimes you have to be just as angry. Sometimes you have to be just as primal as the infected to care for the ones that you love. That's the entire point of the first movie, and I think it works really well. And the way they all that movie ties in to Years is so good because it continues that philosophy of like, maybe this can be treated. Maybe this can be something that can be cured. And the way like Samson's plotline goes is, I'm just gonna say it now. Ian and Samson's plotline is the best part of this movie, without a doubt. It is the best part of the Bone Temple, and then everything else I'm just kind of okay on. Because once it gets to the Jimmy plot, oh my god, I hope there's not nudity in there. But once it gets to the Jimmy plotline, it kind of feels like it's not even Spike's movie, because Spike is not he's supposed to be the main character in this movie. This guy's supposed to be the main character in this movie. He feels like a background character. This feels like a completely different movie. And Spike is just a spectator. Because the whole movie is building up to a confrontation between Ian and the Jimmies. And then Spike's just there. He's the main character, but he's just there. And I don't know if I like that. I think Spike taking a backseat kind of sucks, because I was very interested to see where his character goes, and they just don't explore it at all. He's like, the whole movie, he's just traumatized, and then Ian and Samson are just like dancing together. It's really funny. Yeah, I think it's kind of contrived. Like, I think it's a weird world building issue that the Jimmies have never run into Ian before, especially since like the first time Spike went out, he immediately clocked Jimmy's fire in the distance. And seeing how Jimmy's just love causing chaos, I have no idea how they haven't run into him yet. It is such a weird thing. So yeah, those are my main two issues. And then there's, of course, the fact that this movie just doesn't look as good as the first movie. This movie has lost all its source in how it looks in its presentation, and it is so sad, because what made 28 Years Later so unique is it was the best looking zombie movie ever, period. There's no debate in this. And then Bone Temple comes along, and I mean, it's not shot badly, but some of the shots are just so bland. They don't play around with it. There's also events of Jimmy on the way to the Kelson. Yeah, exactly. So I don't know what the whole thing of like, oh, who is that person? Like, no, they should know about him. And in the first movie, it's hinted that they do know about him. And then for some reason, it's just like, who the fuck are these guys? Like, and then for some reason, the Jimmies are just like, who the fuck is this guy? It's whatever. It's a world building issue, and it's my only one. But yeah, I think the whole, like, the emotional beats work really well in this movie. I think Samson's, like, whole train scene where it's like, I don't have a ticket, is heartbreaking. I cried in that scene. And I think that the whole Number of the Beast sequence, that sequence is the best part of the movie without a doubt. It is hype moments and aura with all the good writing. And I wish it was directed by Danny Boyle, because I know if it was directed by Danny Boyle, the Number of the Beast sequence would have been even better. And it makes me mad, makes me angry. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this movie, because my score on it is going to change drastically. I first watched it, it was a 9 out of 10. Second time, I was like an 8.5. Now I'm feeling it's an 8. I think I'm going to stick with this movie being an 8 out of 10 for now. But it might change in the future because I have no idea what to feel. I feel like this movie is a lot less subtle than the first movie. It spells things out a lot more blatantly, and I kind of don't like that. It really kind of ruins the whole vibe of it. So I'm gonna give this movie an 8, but again, it's one of those things where I'm gonna see how the third movie goes, and if the third movie isn't good, yeah, 7 out of 10's fair. I think the ending of the movie really heightens it for me, because the stuff is all good. It's the ending of the movie though, that reveal, and it's like, are we gonna help them? It's like, of course we are. And then it ends, and it pissed me off when I first saw it, because I was like, fuck! I need to see that third movie now. Although it is kind of just like MCU like cameo slop baiting. But I kind of fell for it hard, because I really like the first 28 Days Later. I love that movie. And I love how they just kind of decanonize 28 Weeks. They just make it, they're just like, yeah, that movie doesn't exist. that movie was a thing in the past. Or at least they revealed that they managed to tame the infection, but they couldn't control it, so all of Britain is just zoned off. That's cool. I like that. But yeah, this movie is like an 8. I don't know. I might rewatch it in future, when the third movie comes out, if it ever is coming out. This movie's underperforming as hell on the box office, but if the third movie is coming out, I'll rewatch all the movies again, and we'll see how it goes from there. So yeah, 8 out of 10. I'm gonna keep it as an 8. Fuck. They're having a mid-off. Fuck, this movie's having a mid-off. I don't care. I don't care about this fucking movie. Okay. I'm gonna tell you all, because, like, you know how on Twitter they have those things, it's like the golden fire horse, and it's all 3 in a row, and it's like, this is that trilogy. For this, it's like, beans and rice. And all 3 movies are beans and rice instead of the fire horse. Because these movies are so fucking boring. I like the first movie, though. I will say that. The first movie has a goal, it has a purpose, and it has an ending. And that's it. They do not have to continue. The fact that the second movie exists pissed me off. Because it is just a fucking repeat of the second movie. And then the third movie is a repeat of the second movie, which is a repeat of the first movie. It pisses me off. And the fact is, this movie's called Fire and Ash. This movie does not have any fucking fire in it. It has fire for like 10 minutes and then it goes away. And I saw this movie with my ex, and at the time, like, I think what really pissed me off about it is the fact that I had to see this movie 2 times. These movies are only a one-time watch. These movies are supposed to be watched when they come out in theaters, and then you never watch them again. That is how these movies work. If you ever try and watch these movies, twice, more than once, they get worse. They get so much worse. This movie's kind of just, James Cameron's fan fiction, because after the first movie, it's all fucking boring. I kind of like this one more than Fire and Water, but I don't know. Like, the second time I watched it, I was like, this shit's mid. The first time I watched it, I was like, maybe I might give it a 7. They get worse on rewatches. It's just supposed to be a CGI spectacle, but the thing is, like, this movie doesn't even look better than the second one. This movie looks actually maybe worse than the second one, which is kind of weird. Like, the fire CGI kind of looks like shit. And it's kind of weird because the whole point is that they pride themselves on, like, the spectacle of these movies, and they just... This movie just doesn't look as good. I just don't know what to say other than just, like, I don't know. It mid. I don't care about it. Like, I saw this the first time with my ex, and then the second time with a friend. And the thing is, actually, you know what really gets me is it's just too long. These movies are just too long. Because they somehow, end up really bloated, but they're really rushed at the same time. And it boggles my mind every single time I come out of that movie. Every single time I watch one of these movies, it boggles me because I'm like, that shit was too long and it felt too bloated, but at the same time, it felt so rushed. Like, the second they were having that war at the end of the movie, I was like, what the fuck's going on? It's so weird to me. I don't think I've ever had a theater experience like that where I felt like the movie is so bloated, but it feels rushed. It's weird. So yeah, I don't know. 5 out of 10? It's a 5 probably. Watch it if it like I'm pretty sure it's still in theaters at the moment. And you know what? I still don't care about it. I still don't care. I watched it twice, and twice is enough. So yeah, that's my thoughts on it. I don't even think I need to talk about the character moments in this movie. It's just all kind of boring. Well, actually, we'll talk about Daredevil Born Again. I'm kind of in the mood to talk about Daredevil. Where is this? Where's the trailer? Oh yeah, this is the season 2 trailer right here. We'll talk about Born Again. This show is so fucking funny. This show is really funny. What is there to... Where do I start on Daredevil Born Again? Because... the first... Okay. When I first watched Daredevil, the first season of Born Again... Yeah, that's right. Your time has come, David. So... I first watched Daredevil Born Again, and I coped. I coped so fucking hard. And the reason for that is a couple of my friends at the time, I'm no longer friends with them, but a couple of my friends at the time were like, this show is so good. And I'm like, you know what, you might be right, this show is actually really good. They were liars. They lied to me. They tricked me. That Spider-Man is using me. Because this shit is not good. I have kind of looked into the production of Daredevil Born Again, and it's shit. It is just messy, greasy, poopy shit. That is all I can say about it because it is true. I do not like this show. We're gonna go on a rant. This is a big-ass rant we're going on because I do not like Daredevil Born Again. So, this movie... Okay, this show was originally going to be made by the same people who made the Netflix show, which is cool because I love the Netflix show. The Netflix show is one of the best pieces of superhero media I've ever seen. Dropped the first episode. Should have dropped it, period. Should have just never seen it. And actually, I'm gonna have to show one of the fight scenes because I'm not gonna show all of it, but there's this fucking cut in the fight scenes. It's really funny. And then they got fired because I think it was creative differences or they wanted to spend too much budget or whatever the fuck. So they got these weirdos to come in to make Born Again. And the thing is that these weirdos didn't do a good job. It was really bad. So then they got the Loki directors to come in and they were like, yo, Loki showrunners, can you fix our shit? And the Loki, and you know what the Loki showrunners were like? They're like, say no less, fam. We're gonna make it worse. And I'm saying this because I hate Loki. I don't think the Loki show is good. I don't think it works. I dislike it. I dislike it to my core. Yeah, I hate it. I hate Spider-Man. I hate that. Like, I hate it. So then the show comes out, right? So everything has changed about the show. And oh my god. This shit looks so ass. Everything is so overt. Like, I don't know if they show it in the trailer where it's like the overt use of red and blue. Hold on, I want to find if I can find Daredevil's cinematography in the Netflix show. Oh yeah, the Loki watch parties were so much fucking fun. Amazing shots of Daredevil boarding, but like let's try and 2 times speed it. Look at these shots. These shots are majestic. Look at this lighting. And you know what? Hold on. Let me compare the two right here because this is fucking crazy. So we got. I'm gonna side by side this shit. because it is so fucking ass, and I'm gonna show everyone, anyone who watches the VOD for this, anyone who watches anything about this, I will show you. Look at the, oh my god. Look at this fucking lighting. Oh my god. Already my eyes. This could cure erectile dysfunction. I'm not even joking. Oh my, every piece of lighting has so much purpose and meaning to it. There's so much, the way like the reds and the blues are used throughout the original Netflix show is gorgeous. It is fantastic. There's so much purpose to it. It shows like Matt's inner conflict within himself. And we have Daredevil Born Again. Gray ass lighting, gray ass cinematography. None of this good look at this corny. Look, I can't even see shit. I can't see anything. Look at this. They thought they were fucking slick with that fucking mirror shot right there. They thought they were so slick. Look at this gray at. Look at this. Look at the difference. This is crazy. Come on. Oh my god, look at this. Oh, this looks amazing. Oh wow. This, how does that look more gray? What, do they have a fog machine in here? Oh, gorgeous. Okay, that's sex. YouTube won't allow that. But look at this. Oh my god. Oh my god. And then gray ass shots. Where is this? Where's a shot with color? I guess this one? Where's the one where they do that really corny ass red lighting? Here it is. Look, it's so overt. There's no subtlety, there's nothing to be picked up from. He's framed upside down because it looks like it's from the perspective of hell. Oh my god, it's so, oh my god. It's cinema. And then there's this. Oh, beautiful. Oh, beautiful. Oh my god. And I could rant for 10 hours about how much worse this show looks in comparison to it. But I will not. I refuse to. Because I'm better than that. And everyone talks about the one-shot scene, like the oneer scene at the beginning, but you can't see shit on what's going on there. And that's not to mention the character assassin and the hoops they have to go through to be, because hold on. Let me try and find like because I was watching Cosmonaut's video on Daredevil and he makes a perfect point. He makes a perfect point on what fucking sucks about this fucking show. He puts it perfectly, better into words than I could ever put it in my fucking life. He puts like he describes everything that's wrong with Daredevil Born Again from a premise, from the base premise alone. Oh my god, why are there so many ads? Hold on, I'm gonna turn on the desktop audio. But we're gonna skip this because fuck this. Holy shit, I just need an ad blocker. I was defending it. Shush, Raffi. Nothing from you. Nothing. Hold on. Here we go. Oh, hold on. Actually, let me put this at 1x speed. Oh shit, can you hear this? I don't know if any of you can hear. Actually. Oh, that's why.
And you think,
okay,
save in this season, everything he accomplishes is undone, and you think he would care a little bit more.
You will go back to prison, and you will live the rest of your miserable life in a cage,
That's not true.
knowing you'll never have Vanessa.
Yes, he will.
Rejected you.
It didn't.
I beat you.
You kind of didn't. I'm sorry. And it's so
It's just that. It's just that. That's all I need to say about everything that is wrong about Born Again. Because it doesn't work from a premise level. It does not work. And I like there's nothing else I need to say about it. Because what else is there to say? Oh my god, the Ray Nadeem stuff. Because that's how like Fisk was able to get out of jail. The way they address it is just the FBI scandal with Ray Nadeem, that stuff. That's how they address it. That's how they address Fisk getting out of jail. It is so depressing. Yeah, we've both seen the light, Rafi. We were both defending the fuck out of it, and now we're just like, damn. And you know what? I've since gone back and watched the original Netflix show, and it has made me hate this show even more. I hate this show more now that I've seen this show. I've gone through season 1 of Daredevil. Like, I'm almost done with that. I have one episode left before I'm finished with season 1. And holy shit. My mind was boggling. I was like, these shots are amazing. Like, look at this. This has so much meaning behind it. It's like all the anger and the rage pent up. And this, like, and when Fisk comes in, the reflection, the light that comes from the painting is in Matt's eyes, in Matt's glasses. It's such a subtle touch, but it's so good. And then you get Daredevil Born Again. Bland ass sliding. Actually, before we move on from Born Again. Hold on. Daredevil Born Again, Matt beats up cops. For some reason, this never comes back, by the way. The cops don't fucking, like, care to share their experiences of being beaten up by a blind guy. And Matt's defense for this is like, oh, you wouldn't want to admit that you got beaten up by a blind guy, would you? It's like, no, they do, because that means that you're fucking, like, that means you're fucking superpowered. That means you're not gonna get your blind disability check, Matt. Okay. This scene's so fucking funny. I don't know if I'm gonna get, copyright claimed. So I'm gonna go through this, like, very, hold on. Is it this one? I think it's this one. Hold on. Let me show you. Look at this shit. Okay, this scene is everything wrong. Like, everything with the editing. There is... Hold on. Let me show you the amount of cuts. Let's play this at slow motion. There is 1 cut, 2 cut, 3 cut, 4, 5 cut, 6 cut, 7 cut more. What the fuck? So many unnecessary cuts. What are these cuts for? 1 cut, 2 cut, 3 cut, 4, 5 cut, 6 cut, 7 cut more. What the fuck? What is with the cuts? What is the purpose? Why did we need to cut from here? From, like, this? Why do we need to cut to here? To... What? What was the point in that? And then back to here. Why did they cut 2 times? I swear that must have been an editing mistake. That has to be an editing mistake. There's no fucking way. There's no way that was, like, intentional. Because if that is, I'm gonna go bananas. I'm gonna go cuckoo. The fuck? What else is there to say? What else? Oh yeah, where the fuck was Spider-Man when all of this was going? What was he? What, fucking snoring? Was he honk shoeing throughout the entirety of the events of season of Born Again? Because this affects him too. Like, Fisk was like, "Oh, I'm gonna make all vigilantes illegal." They're already illegal. That's why they're called vigilantes. And who does this extend to, by the way? Does this extend to just, like, street level vigilantes? Is this, like, what does this extend to? Yeah, you're famous, Rafi. You got your 15 minutes of fame. 15 seconds or whatever. But, like, Rafi is now the most famous gets. But, like, who's this extend? Does this extend to Doctor Strange? Because he lives in New York, but he's a vigilante. Yeah, where are the defenders? Where's everyone? I mean, I guess not Kate Bishop. I guess Jessica Jones shows up in the season 2 trailer. But even then, like, where the fuck is everyone? Like, it's so funny when Matt is like, we're building a city. We're building something to fight against Fisk. And then they find it, and it's just fucking random guys. Just some random guys. It's so funny. It's so funny. This show makes me mad. This show makes me angry. The whole Fisk plot point of him is like, fill in this hole. Do it immediately. Like, no, there's regulations to this. There's levels to this. Oh my god. Another thing that makes me angry. We'll move past Daredevil Born Again soon. Don't worry. I just want to get my anger for this show out. The Punisher scene. The way that this scene is just... The way that this scene is just the rooftop scene from season 2. It's just the rooftop scene. That's it. It's not anything more. And it's just like, there's no subtlety in the dialogue, there's no layers, there's no subtext. It's just so overt. It's just so lame. Like, what the fuck? And what is going on with Frank Castle? Because in season 2, he becomes the Punisher. Then afterwards, he doesn't become the Punisher. And then after the Punisher show, he becomes the Punisher again. And then it seems like Frank in the show is not being the Punisher anymore, or he is. Like, what is going on with Frank? Can this show explain to me what's going on? There's so much wrong with the show. And the reason I'm watching through the reason I'm rewatching Born Again. Sorry. I don't know if that's okay, it doesn't show in the audio. But the reason I'm rewatching the original show is so I can hopefully make a review on Daredevil's Born Again season 2. So that's what we're doing. I've ranted enough about this show. We all at this point, most of us know it's bad. Anyone who's in the Discord server knows it's a bad show. Anyone who's talked to me in my spare time knows that I think it's a bad show. I don't even know what I'd rate this. No, I'm not gonna give it a rating. It doesn't deserve a rating. Fuck this show. Dumbass, stupid ass Daredevil, stupid ass bullshit. This show, this doesn't get a rating. Fuck that. What else do we have to cover? Actually, let me check my letterbox to see that I'm not missing any big movies. I'm planning to watch an episode by episode breakdown of Everything Wrong with Born Again. You're planning to make an episode. Oh yeah. Bro, good luck. By the time you're done covering one of the episodes, hold on, what the fuck? One of my friends lost the source. What else is there? I'm just trying to see if there's anything that I've skipped over that deserves to be went over again. What did I watch? 2025. Movies. Did I watch any? Oh, I did watch I don't know if I want to talk about the Naked Gun, though. It's just not fun. It's just an average fucking American comedy movie. Do an MCU quick round? That's actually a good idea. Alright, we'll do that. Alright. I have not watched Wonder Man, or whatever the fuck that thing's called. So we're gonna put up Thunderbolts. We're gonna put up Captain America 4. Devil Story cover. Oh, true. How do I describe this movie? Hold up, Blur. Devil Story is a movie I would recommend to everyone. Everyone needs to watch Devil Story. It is bad. It is really bad. How would I describe it? Okay, I'm just gonna describe one scene before we move on, and that should hopefully convince everyone. A Nazi and a mummy come back from the dead and haunt our characters, and they all get defeated by a horse. And not only did they get defeated by a horse, but it was just a side quest for the horse, because the horse was 1v1ing this guy who had infinite shotgun rounds and kept missing every time. If you're not sold by that premise, just go watch Devil Story. It is so bad. I love it. We're also gonna cover Fantastic Four as well. Okay, so these are the 4. I think these are all everything. Is this everything that came out in 2025? 2025 Marvel. What came out? Yeah, no. That's all. The horse was the goat, yeah. The horse was the best, and the horse was so fucking funny. It's like an hour-long movie, but like the horse gets defeated. But okay, we'll cover Captain America 4 first because I already did a video on Captain America 4. Actually, I don't even need to pull up the trailer. Let me just pull up the video that I made because the video is monetized, so I know I won't get banned for it. Marvel Zombies sucked. I'm not surprised. I'm really not surprised. But oh my god, look at my greedy ass putting ads on the video. But yeah. So my opinion has not at all changed on Captain America 4. I still think it sucks. I still think there was really good premises in here. There's good concepts that could have been used. But this movie has no balls to it. This movie isn't willing to try anything. A movie where Captain America, the first black Captain America, teams up with the president, and there's no talks of politics at all. The politics are all so fucking neutral, and it pisses me off. Like, I think I gave this movie, like, what? A 3? Yeah, 3 out of 10. Yep. That's about right. Nothing has changed. I've rewatched this movie. Actually, no, I didn't rewatch all of it. I rewatched, like, the first hour, and I turned it off because I was bored, and I needed something to watch while I was editing. And even when I was editing, I was fucking bored watching this movie. I watched this movie on Valentine's Day alone, and that was so depressing. That's the second time I watched something alone on Valentine's Day in theaters. This year, I just watched the Chainsaw Man movie for Valentine's Day, and that ruined my life. The president takes accountability for his actions. Yeah, exactly. That's the most unrealistic part of this movie. It's not the fact that Sam, it does not have the super soldier serum. Because look at this shit! He's like surviving shit he shouldn't be surviving as a person. He does not have the super soldier serum. He's just a regular ass dude in a suit. Actually, like, let me go back. Comes down from like 15,000 feet and then drops like his legs should be broken. But still, the most unrealistic part of this movie is the fact that the president takes accountability for his actions. And that is wild to me. I find that shit so fucking funny. That the president just takes no accountability. Like, just takes accountability. Anyway, this movie, what did I give this again? A 3? Yeah. Oh yeah, I said watch Invincible because that's better. It is better. We'll get to Invincible soon. Actually, we'll get to Invincible after Marvel since we're covering DC. Oh fuck, that's right, Peacemaker. We'll get to Peacemaker as well after I cover the Marvel show because I have a lot to say about Peacemaker. Alright, Thunderbolts. I don't fucking know. Okay, I will say that for some reason, last year I was off my game. I liked Daredevil Born Again, and then rewatching it, I hated it. I liked Thunderbolts. And then for some reason, I rewatched it, and I hated Thunderbolts. I don't know what I was on last year, because I was liking bad movies. This movie sucks, by the way. All the characters in this are so underdeveloped. Wasp. Yeah, baby's first depression. It is literally like, oh, you can defeat depression by the power of friendship. And then there's this weird messaging at the end where it's like, don't beat up your depression because then you're just giving into no, beat up your depression. It's so weird. Like, the only people who go through an arc in this movie is her and maybe him. That's like the only 2 people who go through an arc, really. This person's non-existent, by the way. Who the fuck is this person? This person doesn't exist in the movie. They get 2 lines. So Sebastian Stan's character gets assassinated. Like, he's tasked with not killing the Thunderbolts, and then he tries to kill them. Like, he throws a fucking mine at them! This shit is so wild. And the character, like, I don't know where the, like, again, I think it's interesting, the whole thing of, like, the way that Sentry sends them all into, like, the Black Pit. I find that interesting, but it doesn't go on long enough, and somehow they're all able to find each other. This is where this is like when in Echo she tells Kingpin to put the hammer down and not kill his abusive father. Again, something about Marvel and abusive fathers or abusive father figures, they just suck at writing them. They just suck. This movie's really gray. It looks like every other Marvel movie. Does not look good. Everything that people think is good about this movie is done 10 times better in the Avengers. The Avengers is one of the best Marvel movies for a reason, and everything about this movie is done better in the Avengers. Nothing really works about this movie. I would probably put it at a 4. I'm lightning rounding these ones. Marvel would love Marvel would love. From what you've told me about your dad, Marvel would love them. But yeah, like, they I don't know. They don't develop the characters. The action's not great. Because in every action scene, the characters are out of character. I don't know. It's just a Marvel movie. It's another Phase 5 Marvel movie. It's boring. It doesn't matter. It's like a 4 out of 10. I don't care about it. That's my lightning round for Thunderbolts. I think if you want to watch a better version of Thunderbolts, if you want to watch Thunderbolts, just watch Avengers. And then boom, problem solved. Let's move on to Fantastic Four. Okay. I think I have weird feelings about this movie. This movie's kinda mid. Because half of the characters don't go through an arc. It's the same with Thunderbolts. Half of these characters don't... Actually, none of the characters go through an arc. Reed has sort of an arc where they kind of set it up for something, and then they don't go through with it, where he's like, oh, Reed, don't blame yourself for the fight, and then they never address it again. You shouldn't blame yourself for what happened in space, and then, never gets addressed. The Thing has a plot line that never comes back at the end. Like, it's hinted that it might come back, and it just never does. Sue has a thing about motherhood, and that's goes nowhere. And then Johnny's plotline, of course, goes nowhere either. It's the same thing with Thunderbolts. They don't develop the characters. They just expect you to know everything about the Fantastic Four, which is not what you're supposed to do when you're making an origin story about them. Because not everyone knows the Fantastic Four. Everyone thinks the Fantastic Four are fucking boring. I will give this movie kudos for the fact of, like, the best scene in this movie is the black hole scene. It is perfect. The action is so much fun. I'd say the best part of this movie is actually just the action. Like, if you're looking for, like, a fun time where you don't have to think about what's going on, this movie's perfect. Because there's a lot of cool action and nothing else. The score, I'm not gonna lie, Michael Giacchino's score for this is kind of bland. Like, it's kind of a bunch of nothing. It's not his best. It's cool. I like the Fantastic Four, like, theme that they have, but I don't really care for the rest of the score. It's pretty forgettable. I do like that they try and find a way to save humanity throughout the entire... Like, I love how it's just a mad dash to stop Galactus from destroying everyone. However, I think the world should have died. Because what is the point in keeping this world? If they're going to show up in Doomsday, why keep this world alive? Kill everyone. Make sure there are... Try to have consequences in your fucking Marvel movie for once. Jesus Christ. You know what has consequences? You know what's a show that has consequences? Yo. Whoa, look at this. It's a good Marvel property, and and not to mention it's a good Marvel show. Yo. No way, that's crazy. It's just a bet like this is just a better like, you know, version. It has consequences. It has actual like, you know, storytelling in it. It has character work. This just has nothing. It makes me sad. I rewatched this for a second time, and it made me sad because I was like, damn, this movie's fucking boring. And I don't know. It's a Marvel movie. I don't really know what else to say about it because I think I did a stream with Sky. I've gotten rid of the stream because some stuff has happened between Sky and I, but we covered that movie in pretty big detail. And if you haven't seen it, then you know, you missed out. But that's my short coverage of it. They just don't develop the characters. The action's fine. I wish there was more consequences. Like, they should have just killed off this world instead of saving it for some reason. I do find the post-credit scenes really funny, where Sue or Reed comes into the room and sees Doctor Doom, but they're trying to cover his face because they know if they show Robert Downey Jr.'s face, that's like an $80 million post-credit scene, and they're not risking that. That shit was funny as hell. So Fantastic Four gets a 4. The Fantastic Four gets a fantastic 4 out of 10. I think of it as it's a little bit better than Thunderbolts, actually. Thunderbolts is a 3.5. Fantastic Four is a 4. If you like the Fantastic Four, you might get something out of this movie because, you know, you already have the prior knowledge going into it. As someone who has not seen much of the Fantastic Four, apart from the Fox movies, and that really weird 90s one that makes Reed Richards into a pedophile, apart from those ones, you know, I know nothing about the Fantastic Four. And I know that they're awesome in the comics. I will read the comics. It's just I don't really have anything to, you know, I don't have anything to go off of, so I don't care. Alright, let's talk about Peacemaker next. However, before we talk about Peacemaker, I need to go to the bathroom because I've got a lot of things to say about Peacemaker season 2. Spoiler alert: I do not like it as much as the first one, but we'll have a big conversation about that soon. I'm gonna mute, and we will, you know, we'll talk about Peacemaker when I get back. All right, we're back. So, I need to take a swig of my Monster for this because I got a lot to say. So, I did not care for Peacemaker Season 2. Actually, before we start this, when did Creature Commandos come out? December... I don't know. Do we count Creature Commandos as a 2025 thing? Because I did watch it in 2025. we'll count it. We'll talk about it after Peacemaker. But I have a lot of problems with Peacemaker. I think the premise of Peacemaker Season 2 is such a natural building off point. I think it is a perfect premise because what do you do? Creature Commandos did come first. But we'll cover it afterwards because I want to talk about Peacemaker. So it is such a natural building off point from Season 1 because Season 1 ends with Chris having to kill his father and him needing to get rid of the praying mantis figures. Season 1 is so good, it is so consistent. The pacing is great. It naturally builds off of each other. And the thing is, I kind of want to give Peacemaker Season 2 some leeway in some areas because it is setting up a new universe. They've got the responsibility of having to translate from the DCEU, the DCU, or DCEU, over into this new universe. So they've had this whole responsibility of introducing new characters, new plot lines. And the thing is, some of it I kind of don't care for. Like, for example, there's this, like, Chosen Eagle plot line that occurs in Season 2, and it goes nowhere. It goes nowhere. The Eagle Hunter finds the Chosen Eagle, or the Spiritual Eagle, or whatever the fuck it's called. He dies, and it's never brought up again that Eagle Lee is the Chosen One. He just is the Chosen One for whatever reason. It never comes back in an interesting way. In the show, it's never used in a very convincing way. It's just this is what Eagle Lee does. And yeah, it should have been for Vigilante and ads. And the thing is, I would not mind it. The problem is, other than Peacemaker, no one gets any screen time this season. Vigilante gets hardly any screen time. Ads gets barely any screen time, although they try and do a weird-ass plotline with her and her girlfriend that gets addressed. Like, it kind of resolves itself off-screen. Because she's like, fuck it, I figured it out. She figures it out without going through any of the development that it would take for her to figure out her problem. And it's just such a nothing plot line where it's just like, oh no, my girlfriend might break up with me because I'm focusing on work too much. And we never really get to see that ever again. It's really boring and underdeveloped and it doesn't go anywhere. Although the funny thing about that plot line is her girlfriend suggesting moving to Gotham. I'm sorry. Why are we moving to Gotham? That's like saying, yo, America's too bad. Let's move to North Korea. Like, I'm sorry? Yeah, America's too easy. Let's move to Israel. Like, what? Why are you suggesting moving to Gotham? And I also have problems with this alternate Nazi universe because the thing is, right, I understand why Chris wants to go there, but I don't think we spend enough time in that alternate universe for the audience to be fully on board either. Because by the time the third episode ends, he's already committing to going to this other universe, and I'm like, I kind of want a little bit more time in there, though. And I know the reason why they can't. Well, part of the reason is because, like, there's not enough, like, there's only, like, 8 episodes. And all of them are 30 minutes long. I do not know why each episode is 30 minutes long. There's only, like, one that's, like, an hour long, I think. And that's it. I do not know why the episodes in this season are so fucking short. But I personally was not convinced on why Chris needs to move to this alternate dimension. And then there's the entire problem with Chris not noticing the Nazi stuff for some reason. Like, I don't know why he didn't know. Like, I know he's very ignorant and arrogant as a person, but he's still smart. Like, Peacemaker is a smart guy. He's just a bit fucking dense sometimes. the problem is that like the imagery is so in his face that you can't really excuse it, and they do try to lampshade it, and the joke is funny, but it's still lampshading nonetheless. And also, not to mention this fucking guy, Rick Flag Sr. This guy right here, in this movie, he is such a different person from Creature Commandos. It's kind of off-putting. Because you see him in Creature Commandos, and he's like this normal dude, and here he's a fucking psychopath. Like, what changed about him? Because he is not the same person as he was in Creature Commandos. And I'm starting to think that Creature Commandos is not even connected to anything. Because they kill off Clayface, except, like, Clayface is still gonna be a thing. So I don't know why they even introduced Clayface to begin with. Because, like, it just felt like they were introducing him to, like, as a cameo carousel for the show. And in this season, like, they just completely obliterate his characterization as well. And then there's, the finale to Peacemaker Season 2, which I'm gonna say, not as bad as people say, right? I'm gonna say that off the bat, it's not as bad as people say. It still tries to do too much. I think character-wise, as a character episode, is really good. I think the way they resolve things is pretty decent character-wise, but they still try to do way too much with the episode, and it kind of fucks off because apparently this might be the last season of Peacemaker we get before he is just trapped in the DCU, and I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how I feel because I just don't like that. Because I don't know how they're going to resolve this plotline unless they have a Man Tomorrow, but I don't know how he's going to fit into Man of Tomorrow. I think they've kind of fucked themselves here, where unless he has a small cameo of him getting out, there kind of needs to be a Season 3 of Peacemaker. So I hope there is, but from what I can tell, there isn't going to be one. I had a lot more issues with the alternate universe plotline that I've kind of blanked out of my mind because it came out like halfway through the year, and I haven't rewatched it since then. But I don't think I don't think I was ever convinced. Like, oh yeah, this alternate universe stuff goes by way too fast. There's not enough time that explores it for me to get emotionally attached to it. And the more time they do spend in it, it risks the plot hole of just like Peacemaker noticing less and less. So I don't know. I think this season goes by way too fucking fast for me to get invested in anything. I think that the season is funny. I enjoyed my time with the season. But regardless, I don't think I was as invested in Season 1 because Season 1 was an excellent character study in Chris. That House of Pain montage in episode, like, what, 4 or 5? That is the best scene in the show and is a culmination of all the events leading up to Chris's pain. Here, it's like, I can see what they're trying to do, but we just need more time for it, and we need more episodes, and they are unwilling to give us any of that in Peacemaker Season 2. It is really depressing. It makes me really sad. But that is the unfortunate reality of it. I don't know. What are there any other characters that I'm missing? Oh yeah, Economos. Economos kind of has nothing to do this season. He's kind of just there for comic. He's there for the capybara shirts. This is what he's here for. He's just here for to wear capybara shirts, and that's it. I think that the alternate universes that they explore in the finale should have been utilized better. I feel like they should have had more meaning to them other than just for comedic relief, because I feel like you could set up a lot more stuff with that, but they didn't. I feel like this is like the Potential Man. Like, this is the Potential Man season. There's ifs, but never wins. There's ifs, but there isn't. There's never there is. You know? It's always ifs. This could have been good if this happened. Now, I'm not saying this is a bad season by any stretch of the imagination, because I still had a good time. But everything is so rushed. The character stuff just simply isn't as good. And it kind of makes me sad because I don't know. I I was really looking forward to the season, especially after revisiting season 1 after my okay, I made a season 1 video on Peacemaker back in the day. Low-key, looking back at it now, I said some wild things in that video. I said some out-of-pocket shit in that video that I should, like, I was looking back and I was like, holy shit, what the fuck was I on? Episodes should have been double in length. They should have been double in length or either twice as many episodes. But, like, the stuff I was saying, because I really didn't like Adebayo's character in season 1, and revisiting season 1, I loved her character. But I was listening to the video, and I'm like, low-key, this is, like, I was criticizing her character more than anything to the point where it was kind of coming across as racist. Of course, I know at the time, I was not trying to be racist, but it definitely did come across that way. So yeah, I have since gotten rid of that video because not only were all my criticisms shit for Peacemaker season 1, but I just like the season now, and, you know, so there's no point in it. Anyway, I think I've spent enough time talking about Peacemaker. I think everyone gets the gist of it so far. The camera movement was a lot more dynamic. I think the camera movement during action scenes was really good. Oh, fuck, right, this character. I completely forgot about her. This character's fucking useless. I fucking hate this character. Like, she could have been interesting. Again, potential man shit. Ifs but not there is. Instead of it is, it's if. It's always if but never it is. And she could have been a character if she got more screen time. That's all I'll say. I'm gonna give Peacemaker Season 2 a 5. Season 1 gets an 8. Season 2 gets a 5. I think it's kind of mid. I'm not even gonna lie. Now we can talk about Creature Commandos. Oh, and that's a good segue into Superman as well, because we can revisit my thoughts on Superman, which have not changed that much. I should just preface. I will start off by talking about Creature Commandos by saying that I was not very interested when looking at the show. I looked at it and I was like, this kind of looks like kind of worthless animation, like kind of like not worthless, but it just kind of seemed like something I wouldn't be interested in. It seems like something that wouldn't matter in the grand scheme of things in the DCU. And for the first project in the DCU, it's fucking weird. Like, it feels so out of place. And I looked into more research about it, and apparently the reason that is because it was supposed to be a DCEU show. It was not supposed to be a DCU show, which makes so much more sense. It makes sense why Rick Flag Sr. is not the same as Peacemaker. And also, again, the show is really short. It does not develop any of the characters enough for me to care about any of them. There's no time. There was not a single time in the episodes where I was like, damn, I really care about this character. I sure hope he doesn't die. Nope, I just don't care. I just didn't care the entire time. The plot is kind of really fucking dumb because they don't develop the villain of the show, which is the princess, which the twist comes out of fucking nowhere. There's no build up towards it. Her entire thing is just like, ooh, I'm evil. I want to take over the world. And that's it. Also, it's kind of weird how the princess kind of sexually assaults Rick Flag. Like, because throughout the entirety of the first episode, she tries, like, getting onto him. She tries kissing him and shit, and he's like, no, stop. I don't want to do that. And then eventually he's like, yeah. And it's never addressed again. It's never addressed again that she basically coerced him to having sex. She basically sexually assaulted this guy. It's really fucking weird. Also, this episode fucking sucks. This episode where Frankenstein guy and Rick Flag Sr., you know, pops up, it sucks. I do not like their dynamic at all. Hold on, let me take a swig of my Monster because my throat's getting dry. The only character I really liked was this one. I forgot her name because again, the episodes are this is worse than Peacemaker's pacing because the episodes are all 24 minutes and they're all like what? Creature Commandos. How many episodes are in this? I think it's like 9, right? It's like 8 or 9. Yeah, 8 episodes. Fuck me. Yeah, just not good at all. And I think the finale is really bad because it's wasted on Nina's backstory. Like the final episode is mostly backstory. That is great. By now, you should have already developed all these characters for the finale to kick in. And that's crazy to me. Oh, actually, it's not even 8 episodes, it's 7 episodes, what the fuck? It's even worse! How much is that? That's, so it's 24 episodes, times 7. Bro, this is the same length as a fucking movie. Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2, and 3, had better fucking character development. How do you fuck up this badly? Yeah. No, I don't care about this. Like, everything about this just, like, bored the fucking shit out of me. Phosphorus, or whatever his name is, was kind of cool. Again, these episodes would be cool. These characters would be cool if they had better screen time. If they had better development. But they don't. I was wondering, like, why the fuck? You know, like, when I saw this, I was like, this can't be a James Gunn show. And I looked at it. Apparently, he only wrote the draft concepts for this show. He did not write the show itself. So James Gunn did not write this. His fingerprints are all not write this. He handed off his like early drafts to other people. So this is not his product. This is someone else's, and it kind of shows. Also, I love how people are like, "Oh, this is way better than Invincible's animation." Are we fucking kidding me? Hold on. Look at this scene. This is just dragging. This is just PNG dragging. Unbelievable. I cannot believe that people are like, this animation's better than Invincible. No, it's not. It's the same. It's the same level of quality. Maybe it's better than Season 2's. I'll give you that. But not Season 3's. And definitely not Season 1's. Okay, I think that's all I want to say about Creature Commandos. I heard that's getting a second season, and I mean, I'll watch it. I'll probably watch it. I don't know if I'll review it though. If I do, it means that there's a content drought, and I have nothing else to cover. But there's always something to cover for me, so again, it's probably just going to go into the realm of this type of stream, because I am going to do this type of stream again where I cover everything I watched next year. But again, not kind of thing I'm going to do for a while. We're saving it all for saving all the 2026 stuff that I won't be covering for next year's stream. So if Creature Commandos Season 2 comes out this year, then I'll cover it for next year's stream. I didn't give this a score. I think I'll give it a 3. 3, maybe 4. A 3 or a 4. I don't think it's like abysmally bad, but I definitely did not have fun watching it. It was kind of a bore, kind of a slog. I'm not gonna lie. Okay. Now we can cover Superman. Actually, again, I already made a video on this, and my thoughts on Superman have remained basically the same. Where is Superman? Here it is. There we go. Alright. This movie's so fucking fun. After dogging on Peacemaker Season 2 and Creature Commandos, we can get to the good stuff. We can talk about the one good, like, I think the only good... Oh, wait, no, Invincible Season 3 came out. One of the few good superhero pieces of media that came out last year, and that is Superman. I'm not going to repeat a lot of the talking points. I'm going to keep this one pretty short and sweet, because there's not much to say about Superman that I haven't already said in this video. It's a short video. but it's sweet. And I've said it. I said everything I need to say, and ever since rewatching it, my thoughts have remained the same. My criticisms are still the same. I think the Jimmy stuff, I think the Jimmy plotline is kind of lame, especially since Jimmy is a character. Like, Jimmy Olsen should be a more prominent figure, but they just reduce him down to a comedic, effect character. And I get there's a lot of characters in this movie. There's a lot to introduce, but he deserves better. He deserves so much better. This movie's just a good time. Every single fucking time I watch this movie, I leave happy. I never get bored watching this movie. This movie has insane rewatch value. I could put this movie on whenever. I put this movie on when I was editing my Andor video the other day, and I had such a good time. I was having the time of my fucking life watching this movie. And that's all that needs to be said. It is a hopeful movie. It does the hopeful aspect of things really well. Every time I watch this, it makes me come out of the movie wanting to be a better person. So I'm going to keep this at a 9. I don't know. Actually, did I have this at an 8 or a 9? I forgot. Let me look this up. If I have an 8 because an 8 or a 9 is kind of accurate. I might go for like an 8.5. Yeah, it's a 9. I'll probably go for an 8.5 because I don't know, not a lot has changed about it. This is like one of the few superhero things that I liked about last year. And actually, if we have time later, I'll cover some of the comics I read, but we'll do that later. All right, we're almost out of the successfully hope-pilled. It is so good. Superman's so fucking good. We're almost out of the superhero cycle. There's always superhero shit. You just gotta get through it all before we gotta eat our veggies. I'm feeding you all the broccoli before we move on to the good stuff. Invincible season 2 is really good. We all know this. I have rewatched, of course. Season 2 and 3 are my most rewatched seasons. They are this. Season 3 was the show I rewatched most last year. Season 2 was the show I rewatched when it came out that year in 2024, because every single time I've had to be really thorough about the details and everything. So I've watched both of these seasons 10 times. I've watched season 1 a little bit less because I don't care for season 1. I think season 1's really good, but I don't think it's as good as season 2 or 3. And after having watched the season a bunch of times, I think that season 2 is better by only a little bit. I think that season 2 has a more consistent focus, and season 3's pacing is a little bit all over the place, because it's fast and it's slow, it's fast and slow. It pushes and pulls so much, and at times I think it's good, because Mark's life is a mess at the moment, and the show's pacing is reflecting of that. However, sometimes it doesn't work as well, and sometimes they slow the fuck down a little bit too much, like the dragon episode. I love the dragon episode. I love it a lot more than most. It is still not very well paced. Season 2, I will say this. Season 2 is more consistent in its pacing. Season 3 has higher highs. Hold on, let me go into IMDb, because the stream okay? What's going on? I hope everything's all good. It looks on my screen. It looks like everything's okay. So I'm just gonna take the word for it. Yeah. Okay. Everything's okay. Okay. So what was I lost my train of thought real quick. Okay. Season 3's episodes. Every single episode, I love episode 2. Episode 1, don't really care for. Episode 3 Episode 3 actually probably has the most problems in the season. But these final 3 sets of episodes is what puts all these 3 are in my top 5 Invincible episodes. What it goes is number 5 and number 4 are A Lesson for Your Next Life. and I thought you were stronger. A lesson for your next life has a double meaning that I'll talk about in my Season 4 video. Because in the start of my Season 4 video, I'm going to try and say, like, here's some stuff that I missed. My problem with Season 3 is a couple things. The first is that Mark sometimes has an inconsistency in his power. Now, most of the time, a lot of people over exaggerate this. His powers are not that inconsistent, and the videos I've seen of them have made terrible examples. Like, for example, during the All I Can Say Is I'm Sorry episode, a lot of people are like, oh, why doesn't Mark just use his super speed to beat, like, Powerplex? Like, why doesn't he use his He can't. Complex Powerplex is very emotionally volatile. Mark is trying... Now, he's very naive in doing this, but he's trying to calm Powerplex down. He is like... I'm sorry... Like, he is trying the route of apologizing. This is a turning point for his character, because the entire season... The entire back half of the season has been Mark learning that it's okay to kill people. Anyone who gets in your way, fuck it, kill them. This is the turning point for Mark, because if the Powerplex thing went well, chances are he wouldn't have killed anyone. He would have tried a different approach to helping people. Unfortunately, it does not go out that way. Powerplex accidentally kills, like, his entire fucking family, and then he blames Invincible for it, and Invincible's like, well, I tried that method and it didn't fucking work. Which leads him to, like, making the decision to kill Levy, making the decision to kill Powerplex, Conquest, and that's what's going to affect his decision-making in Season 4. The people who are like, oh, his power is, like, it's not inconsistent. If you dissect the scene enough, you'll probably realize, oh, that's what Mark is doing. He's holding back in this thing. Here, this episode, when he's defeating the Mauler twins, I'm like, come on, man. Just use your super speed. Also, when Art is designing the suit, I think it's really fucking funny that he's like, oh, I thought the O was for Oliver, as he makes it in the Omni-Man font. I find that shit so funny. Like, I don't think I have any other issues with Season 3. I think those are my main issues, other than pacing is a little bit weird. There's a couple issues in Episode 3. Other than that, everything is perfect. If I were to give these ratings, I'd say Season 1 is an 8, Season 2 is a 9.5, and Season 3 is a 9. The only real issue I can find with Season 2 is that the Viltrumite fight in Season 2, in Episode 4, it's a little bit wonky in terms of, like, logistics. But that's the only problem I have with Season 2. Season 2 is basically perfect other than that. I will die on this hill saying that Season 2 is the best season. But yeah, I've rewatched this a lot more since then. I don't think Season 3 is perfect. I think it's like a 9. However, I'm just going to clarify this. Just because I don't think Invincible is perfect, that doesn't mean it's one of my favorite things ever. Invincible is something I very personally connect to. However, that doesn't mean I'm not going to criticize it. I'm going to criticize Invincible because, you know, it does fuck up sometimes. I'm going to be making a video on Season 4. I'm already reading through the comics all over again. I think I'm going through it the second, like, I've already read through it, but I'm going through it a second time now, just to really get the information in my head. I'm also rewatching the entire show again, just so I can pick up on little details, but I'll be doing that while I rewatch Season 4. So, that's basically my thoughts on Season 3, because I was mainly just... If you criticize Invincible, you're big meanie. Everyone's criticizing Invincible. I just think the criticisms are fucking dumb. Like, people need to criticize for what's actually wrong with the show, rather than what isn't wrong with the show. Like, a lot of people bring up the fucking hospital scene. The hospital scene is not a problem. I explain it in the video perfectly. Like, and the people who think that the, hospital scene is bad are either slandering for the memes or are LARPing as Invincible fans, or just they simply do not watch the show. Like, they are on their phones the whole time while watching. And I get that, because on a surface level, Invincible does not seem like a very complex show. I would disagree. I think there's a lot of details that Invincible has beneath the surface. I think it is a very complex show, especially with fucking Mark here as a character. He is such a so much so to the point that people constantly to the point where people constantly slander Mark's character because they just don't understand him. It's really interesting. So yeah, sorry for the big tangent here. Oh yeah, a lot of people who complain about the season 3 animation are dumb. The season 3 animation is so much more improved than season 2, and if you don't think otherwise, you're stupid. You're stupid. Like, hold on. Let me bring up a couple fight scenes here. Like, I'm just gonna put up like, look at this actually, I'm not gonna bring up the Conquest fight. But like, actually, I don't need to do that. I don't need to do that. You all know. You all know. I don't need to explain myself any further. Invincible Season 3 gets a 9. And that's that. Let me actually, before we move on, let me check my diary to make sure, my Letterboxd diary to make sure I'm not missing anything. Because I could be missing something, and that would not be good. Dune, Naked Gun, Her. I don't think I'm missing anything. Nobody 2. I don't really feel like covering Nobody 2. Oh yeah, Weapons. We could cover. Oh, right, Weapons and Sinners. I don't really have much to say about Sinners. It's just really good. Watch Sinners, it's a 10. Weapons, I do have more to say about it, and I'll talk about it soon. I'm actually going to bring up the trailer for Weapons, but I'm not going to talk about it yet. Let's see, what else is... Life of Chuck came out in 2024. I watched it in 2025, but no. Oh, War of the Worlds! Fuck, right. Yeah, we'll cover that. Actually, we'll cover War of the Worlds, Shelby Oaks, and Iron Lung all in one batch. Because they're all like kind of in the same genre. And they're all really except for Iron Lung. I actually like Iron Lung, but we'll get to that. So, what is there to say that hasn't already been said about this movie? This movie is the worst movie of the year, and that is to the surprise of fucking no one. This movie is really funny. This movie is really well acted. I am currently working on trying to implement like reaction clips into this movie. I mean, into my videos, because the reaction, like some of the reaction clips, like, let me see. Yeah, every Ice Cube oh my god. I need to like, hopefully I don't get copyright strike from this. Like the video doesn't get blocked by me showing some of these, but oh my god. It is so fucking funny. Ice Cube's reactions stop this from being a boring ass movie. This part of the video, hold on. I'm gonna unmute the desktop audio. Okay. Look at this shit. He does not give a fuck. Fucking YouTube thumbnail reaction. This is some Ali A thumbnail reaction. Like, look at this. I'm not even fucking kidding. Ali A thumbnail meme. Where is it? Where's the one where he's putting the fucking thing on his head? I know it's here. I know it's here. Where the fuck is it? You get the point. You get the idea. Like, look at this. Tell me this is not the fucking same. Like, look. This is an Ali A thumbnail. This is so fucking crazy. But, I wouldn't say this is the worst movie of all time. It's the worst movie of the year, and it's probably the worst edited movie I've ever seen. But I wouldn't say it's the worst movie of all time like a lot of people say, because a lot of people tend to exaggerate. This is a very fun watch. I forgot he existed until I saw this movie, and I was like, fuck, this reminds me of that one fucking Fortnite YouTuber. But I showed this to all my friends. Great time. This is a great movie to show. Obviously everyone's already done it because like this movie was really popular and everyone decided to hate on it. But if you manage to find someone who has not seen this movie, sit them down and make them watch it. It will be a fucking funny ass movie. You'll have a great time. Get some snacks. Get some drinks. Watch this movie. It is funny as hell. There's nothing I can say about it that it like I cannot do this movie justice because all you have to do is just watch the movie and it explains itself. See it, Red. See this fucking movie. It is funny. It is the worst thing you'll ever, like, it's the worst edited movie you'll ever see. And I can say that for a fact. I can say that for a fact. It is so poorly put together. It's like Searching. Twinkun. is the worst put together movie I've ever seen, and I love it. Terrible. Speaking of terrible movies. Oh boy. Oh shit, right. Should I just put all the YouTuber movies in a row? Let's lightning round the YouTuber movies. Let's bring her back up here as well. We'll put all the YouTuber movies in one. Oh, sorry. I need to mute the Discord top audio. We'll put them all in one, and we'll go through them before we get to Marty Supreme, Pluribus, and is there anything else I'm missing? I feel like I'm missing something. Hold on, let me, because like we're getting to that stretch where we're like we're nearing the end. Like after these three, I'm probably going to cover these three, then that'll be it. So let me check 2025 shows. Task, Pluribus. Long story short, I don't know. None of these I'm really interested in covering. Paradise, Adolescence, The Pit. I don't know. I don't think oh, Andor. That's right. We'll cover that as well. Almost forgot about that one. We'll cover Andor. We'll cover Andor. What else? Friendly About Spider-Man. That's funny as fuck. Long story short. I haven't finished Long Story Short yet. Actually, I think I have. I don't know. I don't remember. Anything else? Anything else? I'm just making sure that I've got everything because I know I'm gonna be mad at myself if I find out that I haven't watched something. Pluribus we'll get to. Pluribus is the main one that I care about. But I'm just making sure. Just in case. Dexter, Pit, Hacks, Poker Face. Oh, The Bear! The Bear's another one. I don't know if there's much I can say about The Bear, though, because I already made that video on it, and... Oh, no, actually, I mean... Nah, I might leave The Bear. The Bear is like a 10. A 9 or a 10 for me. Not much to say about that I haven't already said. I kind of did a review on it already. I know I did a review on Invincible, but I had some extra things I want to say about Invincible. The Bear, I kind of don't have much to say that I haven't already said. Okay, let's get to Shelby Oaks. So I had no expectations for this movie going into it, and I was kind of right to have no expectations to it because it is not very good. The first 20 minutes of this movie is like found footage kind of, what are those like fucking popular videos that are like horror internet videos? I forgot what they're called. I don't know what they're called, but it's kind of framed like that. It's like framed as like a YouTube documentary, except for some reason, Chris Stuckman as a YouTuber does not know how the internet works. Because he gets a lot of shit about it wrong, and a lot of this movie is just fucking meandering. the plot progression makes no fucking sense. Like, characters just somehow know where to go. They just walk to locations and they somehow find plot. Like, they just walk in any direction. They're like, oh shit, cool. That's where I'm supposed to go. Like, I swear to God, the main character just runs into the main villain's house. They just find it. They don't find it for any reason. Like, not through cause and effect. They just find the villain's house. And every single decision, it's like dumb horror movie main character syndrome. Like, everyone makes fucking terrible decisions. It's so bad. Oh my god. This, like, really bad CGI monsters. I hate that they show the monsters. Because in this movie, the monsters all fucking suck. All the monsters suck. Because they look so bad. So, like, what's the point in revealing them? And also, like, since this is, like, a psychological horror, what the dog's doing? What the dog doing? Because, like, how are the dogs connected to, like, the trauma of the main character? It doesn't make any fucking sense. So, yeah, I don't know. If you want to get bored while watching a movie, watch this movie. Because there's nothing I can really say about it. I don't know why. Like, I understand why Chris Stuckman started making those positive reviews, but man, I don't know if it's worth it, dude. I don't know if it's worth it if this is how your movie's turning out, because nothing really about it is. Oh yeah, it has that whole fucking cliche of character goes to library to look up ancient myth about the horror monster, and then it just has that, and it highlights really funny words like the incubus, the parasite. I mean, it's a demon at one point, and I started laughing. Oh my god, the theater experience I had with this movie was so fucking funny. For some reason, I was in a giggly fucking mood. Like, when I got in, before the movie even started, I was laughing my fucking ass off, and the entire time I had to fucking stamp my feet because I was trying not to laugh, because I didn't want to be an asshole in the cinema. And my friends were noticing, and they were trying to get me to laugh even harder. Such a fun cinema experience, and it wasn't because of the movie whatsoever. It was just because I was, like, laughing at everything happening. What did I give this? Let me go on to Letterboxd. I think I gave it like a 3.5. I mean, a 1.5 on Letterboxd. Shelby Oaks. Actually, no, maybe I've gave it a 1 star. I don't know. Hello? Oh no, I gave it a 1.5. Yeah. No, that makes sense. I wouldn't change that. I think there is, like, some decent moments. Like, there's some good directing in areas, but I would not recommend it. A movie... I've actually kind of been let down by horror movies this year, apart from, like, Weapons and, Sinners. Those are, like, the only ones. Bring Her Back is fine. It's not like a... Okay. I remember watching Talk to Me, and I remember when I watched Talk to Me, I was like, damn. This movie's pretty good. I'm really excited to see what these guys make next time, and I'm kind of over these guys, Danny and Michael, what the fuck are their last names? Filippo? Yeah. I'm kind of over their style, because their style is just shock value, like, without a purpose. It's like, ooh, how do we make this scene creepy? Well, we're gonna have a fucking 12-year-old smash their fucking head against the wall, and all their teeth are gonna fall out in gory fashion. It's not scary. It's just disgusting. And eventually you get desensitized to it, because they do it so fucking often without fail that it's just like, oh, yep, that's another gore scene. That's gore of my favorite characters. It's just so lame. It's such a lame way to do horror. It's such an uncreative way of doing it. It's fine. Like, it's entertaining for the most part. I wouldn't say, like, I was ever bored. But there was a point where I was just like, this is getting a little bit repetitive. Like, the whole, just like, this is how we're gonna scare you. Gore. As far as plots are concerned, it's pretty alright. I don't like how they defeat the antagonist at the end of the day. I feel like it wraps up a little bit too neatly for my taste. especially for this type of movie that should not be wrapping up very neatly, because it is a very dark and twisted movie, and everything wraps up so nicely in a nice little bow, and I do not like it at all. So, yeah, if I were to give this a score, I'd probably give it a 5. It's pretty well directed. It's like, I think the best part of this movie is the directing. Like, from a presentation point of view, it is really good. And I think that Danny and Michael Filippo, as directors, have a lot of talent. They have a lot of talent in that area, and I'm so, like, if they could just try a different way of making a horror movie, I would love their next movie even more. Unfortunately, it was just way too fucking gory, and it's repetitive, and they only use shock value for no reason, so that's why I'm giving it a 5. Alright, before we cover Iron Lung, let me take another swig of my drink, because my throat's getting tired. And I'm getting tired. I don't talk for this long usually. Iron Lung is really interesting to me, because I think they use the bottle. I'm a bit conflicted on it, because I think it is a good movie. I just think it could have been done better. I think the way Markiplier does a horror movie is really good. It's directed very well, and I like the whole premise that all of it takes place on a submarine. It is all a very slow burn psychological thriller, and if that is not your thing, you are not gonna like this movie. It is a very slow character study. The whole horror of the movie is seeing Markiplier slowly going insane because of factors that are all out of his control. Now, the thing about this is I wish that they played around with the psychological horror aspects a lot more. I think that there are some creative things that Markiplier does that makes the psychological horror very creative. Like, when he's hallucinating and the speaker is talking to him, usually when the speaker talks to him, there is an orange light that flashes. However, when he's hallucinating, there is no orange flash, which indicates it is hallucinating. That's the shit I love. But I just don't think they do enough of it that really makes the psychological aspect very interesting. I was still very invested. Like, at the first 30 minutes, I was like, I don't know where this is going. I don't know if it's gonna be good. And then I stuck with it, and I was like, damn, I'm really invested. I'm like, what the fuck is gonna happen? Another problem is, like, it feels like they were worried about the movie being too boring, because, like, every 15-20 minutes, Markiplier has, like, the movie has Markiplier hit his head or, like, slammed against something, and it's like, come on. I'm a grown boy. I'm an adult. It's okay. You can have a slow movie. You don't have to try and jingle your keys in front of me. I'm not gonna get bored. But it does feel like it gets really worried about, you know, being boring to the audience. And don't be insecure. Don't be insecure. But Markiplier has said that he knows that the movie has a lot of flaws, and he's working on it for the next one, which that's all I can ask, really. So, I think, there's a lot of cool visuals in this movie. I think all the visuals in this movie are really cool. There's a lot of cool transitions, and there's a lot of cool horror in this. Like, there's this whole hallucinatory scene where he's out of the submarine, and he's on top of this fucking blood ocean, and the visuals for it look so cool. I will say that the ending was a little bit underwhelming. I wish there was a little bit more to it. I wish there was a bit more of a payoff. Not in, like, a satisfying sense where it's like, oh yeah, he saves the day and everything, but I wish there was just a bit more, like, I wish they made it come full circle instead of having it be a bit underwhelming. I'd say if I were to give this a score out of 10, I'd give it a 6.5. I'd recommend it. I think as Markiplier's first theatrical debut, because this isn't his first time directing, I would say that he did a very good job at directing. He did a very good job, and I'm very excited. When he does make other movies, I will see them, because I had a lot of fun with this one. I found this one to be interesting. If you are on the fence, I would say give this one a go, and I'm giving it a 6.5. We can, actually, should I cover weapons before I cover Andor? Because it's another horror movie, I might as well get the other horror movie out the way before we do weapons. Because we're saving the good stuff. We're saving these bad boys for the fight. We're saving Pluribus, we're saving Andor, and we're saving Marty Supreme for the last ones. That's our pie. That's our cake that we get in the end for eating all the broccoli. Yeah, we'll do weapons. Okay. I thought Weapons was kind of overrated. I don't think it's a bad movie. I think it's pretty good. But a lot of people are calling this better than Sinners, and that's where I'm like, I don't know. I don't know about that one, Chief. It's not better than Sinners. I think that this movie is divided up into chapters, which I find pretty interesting. It is the teacher's perspective, then there's the cop's perspective, there is another teacher's perspective, and then there's a crackhead perspective, and I think there's a boy perspective. And all of them are very interesting. Well, some of them. Some of the characters I was not invested in at all. I was not invested in the cop's perspective. It's just one of those things where some of the pacing, this movie gives away too much. I think that this movie leaves a little bit of zero room for subtlety or subtext, and it makes the movie a little bit boring, because when you see the teacher running up at this guy out of nowhere, you're like, what the fuck? What's going on? And then they explain it, and you're like, oh, okay. And then you're like, how the fuck is this person doing this? And then they leave no subtlety to it. They explain every single aspect of it, and it's really fucking boring, because if you're going to explain everything in a horror movie, you're leaving all the mystique and all the scary thriller aspects out of it. This movie can be pretty fucking scary, though. I will say that this guy, I forgot, Zach Krieger, he does horror excellently. There were times in this movie where I was freaked the fuck out. Where I was scared out of my fucking mind. Where is it? Where is it? The car scene? I forget where it is. There's this car scene at night. And it's when the teacher, the main character, is sleeping in the car. And this person comes out of the house and they get into the car with her and they snap her hair out. And it's the creepiest shit, because you're like, why the fuck is she snapping the hair and not killing her? And I would have loved to see if it was more open-ended and it's for you to theorize on why. But they just don't do that, and they explain it all. So it kind of gets ruined. Again, the mix of this movie's also really fucking funny. Because when they cut to the teacher's perspective of it, the other teacher's perspective, it's just, the whole thing is just a comedy basically, and it's really fucking funny. I'm very interested to see on how he's going to tackle his version of Resident Evil, because he is making a Resident Evil movie, and from what I can tell, it's not connected to any of the characters at all, which I kind of like. I kind of like the fact that he's just doing his own thing. He's being allowed to do his own thing, and that's okay. I think we've gotten way too many bad Resident Evil movies to the point where I'm like, sure, fucking do whatever. At this point, do whatever. As long as we get a good Resident Evil movie, I don't care. I've heard so many people being like, oh, this one's underrated, though. I don't think so. I might watch the Resident Evil movies at one point as a separate video, because I am going to be covering all the games before RE9 comes out. And I'll be covering RE9, and depending on how those videos do, I might do the movies next. But we'll see. So overall, I think the directing presentation's really good, the horror is really good, the plot's kind of shit. The characters are okay. I think if I were to give this a rating, I'd probably give it a 7. I don't think it's as good as everyone says. Yeah, it's probably not gonna be Resident Evil in name. It's probably gonna be like the first the live action Resident Evil movie where it has Umbrella, it has the virus, none of the characters. It's gonna be completely separate where like a different main character are focused. Actually, what would be cool is to see the fall of Raccoon City in movie form. Like how the virus inevitably takes over. How like it like, you know, how that shit like slowly gets infested. I would love to see that. And Weapons already kind of does that. And I think that'll be super interesting to see. Hey BG, what's up, man? Thanks for tuning in. We're almost at the end of the stream. But yeah, Weapons gets a 7. I don't care too much about I don't care about as much as other people do. Now we can finally talk about Andor. We can finally talk about this show. I'm not going to talk about it for too long because like I said, I'm making an analysis on the first 4 parts. However, this season's so fucking good, man. This season's so good. And it's to the point where it has nearly been a year since Season 2 came out, and I still cannot decide on which season I prefer more. It is so fucking good. And it's kind of unfortunate because unlike Better Call Saul, what Better Call Saul does for Breaking Bad, where you watch Better Call Saul and then you rewatch Breaking Bad and you're like, wow, Breaking Bad's so much more improved. Like it's even better than when I last remember it. Rogue One is the opposite. Because when you watch Rogue One immediately after Andor, you're kind of like, fuck, this shit just ain't as good. Like, there's more cameos and it like, everything that Andor does, like, everything I love about Andor, I hate about Rogue One. That's not to say that Rogue One isn't a bad thing. I love Rogue One. I still do. It's just, it's not Andor, though. Because, like, everyone's, like, having these monologues about, like, oh, I burned my decency for, like, to see a sunrise I'll never see, and then, Rogue One's like, here's Glup Shido. Here's, Glup Shido Part 2. And then, meanwhile, in Andor, everyone's, like, fucking losing their minds, they're dying and shit, and then, in Andor, it's like, here's the John Williams theme. I don't think the John Williams theme should be in Rogue One, but I love Cassian's arc in this because he is still, despite him wanting to join the rebellion, despite him saying he still has a lot of doubts. And I love how Cassian is still kind of the same guy at the end of the show. Like, you can tell that they're different characters, but they're not all that different. Like, Cassian still has the same mindset. He still has that criminal mindset. He just utilizes it to his advantage in situations like the heists and the what the fuck is it called again? Maya Pei Brigade. He uses that against the Maya Pei Brigade, and you can tell, like, I love that this show has subtlety to it. That this show has so much subtlety to it, it's insane, and it doesn't treat you like you're dumb. This show does not treat you like a dumb person, okay? This is a show that you either pay attention to or you don't understand what the fuck's going on. If you like going on your phone, if you like playing video games while you watch Andor, this show is not for you. Because if you look away for 1 second during the show, there's going to be like one line of dialogue that you miss, and it recontextualizes another scene. Like, for example, in the second arc, there's this person that, like, there's this person that Cassian kills in front of Bix, and Bix doesn't like that. And you never see it, but you know what happens. And that's what matters. It's what happens is what matters. It's the same thing of, like, Bix killing the guy at the end of the episode. It doesn't, like, how they get the information is already set up in previous scenes. You do not need to be spelled out. How Bix learns the information of, where to find this fucking torture guy. Most likely, Luthen gave it to her as a way to try and get her to lock the fuck in. You know? That's the most obvious one. That's the most obvious solution. But it could have been other ways that they found out. Again, the show leaves it open-ended because it's not gonna spell shit out for you. Because it doesn't think you're dumb. Right? The show doesn't think you're dumb. And it doesn't treat you like it. Like the Maya Pay Brigade, the first time, I was going through the show, I was like, I don't know how I feel about that. And then the second time I rewatched, I was like, holy shit. Like, because I watched season 1 and season 2. And the way the Maya Pay Brigade mirrors the Eye, the group that Cassian is with in the Eye arc, is insane. Because the Eye group with Skeen and Vel and Cinta and all those other people could have gone just like the Maya Pay Brigade, where they try and kill each other in the end. And that almost happens. It almost happens multiple times. So the fact that we get to see a more outside perspective of it and how the rebellion is really fucking messy now, it's really interesting. It's such an interesting perspective because the rebellion is working, but there are a lot of fucking dumb people in the rebellion who weren't educated properly growing up or anything like that. And you see the exact result of it through these fucking idiots in the Maya Pay Brigade. Like, the first 2 arcs I wasn't entirely sure of. I was like, this is really good stuff. But, like, it's not season 1. And then the final 2 arcs happen. The Gorman massacre in the show is so brutal. It is so fucking crazy. And those final 2 arcs, I have no idea how I feel about them, because on one hand, I love the prison arc. I love the prison arc from season 1. But on the other hand, the Gorman massacre, it is complete opposites, right? Because the Gorman the prison arc is all about freedom. It is like under oppression, there will always be a way for freedom. There will always be hope. And then in the Gorman massacre, it's the exact opposite. It is genocide. There is hopelessness. There is nothing hopeful about it. There is no hope. It contrasts so beautifully, the prison arc and the Gorman massacre. Because through that entire tragedy is hopelessness. Because you hear the Gormans crying out, if you can hear this, please answer us. And no one can hear it but Cassian. Cassian is the only person who hears it, which, carries through the whole theme of him being the messenger in that show. It's all so good, and the way the show ends, oh my fucking god. The way it ties into Rogue One so beautifully, like, immediately, when Andor ends, you can put on Rogue One, and it carries on exactly from that point. And the thing is that's crazy, is, the characterization is, like, really consistent. Cassian's character is the exact same in Andor and Rogue One. There is not a single time where he's, like, out of character. A lot of people are like, oh, I've been in this fight since I was 5 years old, but, like, he's a spy. He's gonna lie to people. It's the same thing where he's like, oh, I've never been in a prison like this. I mean, either he's saying that he's never been in a prison like that, or he's just lying because he's a mercenary. And Tony Gilroy even says, like, he's a mercenary. He's gonna lie to people. He's not gonna tell them the truth. I think one of the biggest surprises to me was the fact that we got a Luthen flashback. I did not expect that. Because, this show does not hold your hand. This show, if you are behind, this show's like, bye, I'm leaving you in the dust. I'm not gonna help you. I'm not gonna hold your hand. Either catch up or don't catch up. You know, this show takes no prisoners. So the fact that we get a Luthen flashback, and I was really worried when we got the Luthen flashback because I was excited, but I was like, oh no, it might start to get a little bit overt there, but no. The way it the flashbacks are used, it forwards the story. It is not used as a crux. It is used to progress the narrative through Kleya, and it recontextualizes Kleya's character, that she is the one who was the brains of the operation the entire time. It was not Luthen. Kleya was the one who was like leading that fight the entire time. And the thing is, I could talk about these characters all day, right? And I will, because I have the Andor analysis coming up. So the first part is like 6 hours. Yeah, the Luthen flashback shows the perfect amount. It doesn't show anything more. Anything more, it would be it would be poorly handled. But it shows the perfect amount, and it is so good. Everything in this show is fucking great. This show is perfect. I honestly do not have any problems with this show. At least not to my knowledge. I think both seasons are perfect. And I know it was originally going to go for 5 seasons, right? The plan was that it was going to be, for every year, there was going to be a season. I'm going to be 100% honest. After seeing season 2, I don't mind that there's not another season. I think this is the perfect amount. Sure, I would have loved more Andor, but I'm satisfied with this. I'm perfectly satisfied. Sure, I'm going to miss Andor. I wish we could have gotten more Andor, but I'm satisfied with the amount we got. Oh, this scene's so fucking beautiful, by the way. Sorry, I gotta mention this scene before we, move on and all that. The scene, where he, Cassian draws the rebellion symbol, the rebel symbol on Bix's hand. Oh my god. And Mon Mothma as well. I completely forgot. I didn't even mention Mon Mothma. Oh my god, the way her arc is portrayed is so amazing. So good. Yeah. 5 wouldn't have worked because they would have not only had to show a lot, a lot of the subtlety would have been lost, but also, the actors would be old as shit. That's the main reason why they didn't do 5 seasons of this show. But, don't worry. The reason I'm not going too in-depth into this is because I don't want to, right? Because I've got, a 4-part video analysis coming up. The first part will be done by the end of the month. Hopefully, the plan is that I'll have Resident Evil, the Resident Evil games ranked video come out along with Andor, season 1 part 1 analysis, and that should keep y'all pretty satisfied. I'll be streaming Resident Evil 9, by the way, because YouTube is very weird about gameplay footage, because whenever there's a cutscene in games, I'll be doing it with Facecam, because I really want to show, YouTube, this is my own. So, yeah, just getting that out of the way. Anyway, Mon Mothma's character. I love Mon Mothma in this show because the entire thing is, she's outside of the dark areas of the rebellion. She's in the lighter side. She does not know any of the bad shit that is going on behind her back. I mean, she's, partly aware of it. She has some idea of what's going on, but she is never brought into it until Cassian comes into her life and he says, I have friends everywhere. And then that's an entire fucking chase scene. And the way it plays past present sweet, for the fucking, for the way, he's taking Mon Mothma away from her home, the same way Luthen took Cassian away from his home. Oh, it ties in so well. It's so good. I love it. I love it. I will say nothing more on the detail because I'm saving it for the analysis. But, oh my god. The way that scene is portrayed, it is so beautiful. It's one of my favorite scenes in Andor because the way they tie in that past, present, sweet song and the way it happens at the end and that ticking clock motif that happens in the background of past, present, sweet where it's dunk, dunk, dunk. Because time's running out for Cassian. He doesn't have much time left alive. He's gonna die soon. But he doesn't know that. But it's very prominent. Time is a very big theme in Andor. That they are running out of time. In the Eye arc, time's running out for Cassian. Marva's time is running out. Time is such a big motif that is used in Andor and is used brilliantly and very subtly. You would not even know that time is a big motif in Andor if you weren't fully paying attention to it. The cinematography in the show as well looks amazing. All of it looks really great. It looks so beautiful. Oh my god. If you have not watched Andor yet, do so. And if you've already seen Andor, then watch it again. Actually, before I move on, I will say that I did get to meet Stellan Skarsgård. I think that's his name. I one of the Skarsgårds. I forgot his name. Luthen's actor, and Alan Tudyk, who plays K2SO. And I got my season 1 copy, my season 1 Blu-ray steelbook of Andor signed by them. doesn't have anything to do with the review. I just wanted to brag. I just wanted to brag. Yeah. Shout out Andor Practical Sets. Oh yeah, so many Star Wars shows. Fucking terrible, because they use stage lights and they use the stage. Oh my god, it's so bad. And the thing is, they only use it in Andor when they absolutely have to. Otherwise, they don't use it at all. They completely ignore it. They try to go as practical as possible, and while yes, it is the most expensive show, it is also Star Wars' most successful product in fucking ages. And it works out so well. The show, look at how good the show looks. Oh my god. Oh, this fucking scene breaks my fucking heart, dude. I sobbed like a bitch when this scene came up. Oh my, that entire Gorman massacre arc made me so. I was crying. I was actually crying for hours, dude. That entire thing ruined me. Oh man, Andor's such a good show. Music is great as well. If I were to give one complaint to season 2, the music is just not as good as season 1's, and that's because the main composer left. Again, I go more in depth to it in my Andor analysis that is coming out soon. So, if you want to hear me talk about Andor more, wait for that analysis to come out. It's coming out at the end of the month. It's almost done. Well, part 1 is. You're all gonna have to wait for the other 3 parts. Sorry. I take my time making videos. I'm sorry to say that you're probably gonna have to wait another 6 months before I release that one. So yeah, I think that's all. Oh yeah, the acting. Fucking Diego Luna got snubbed. Diego Luna is such a fantastic actor. She's a fantastic actor. I forget her name. I don't know if I'm gonna get everything. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to talk about everything in Andor. I'm probably gonna be forgetting some stuff. But just know that whatever I missed, I'm covering in the analysis video. Andor Season 2 gets a 10. Andor Season 1 gets a 10. The entire show gets a 10. One of my favorite shows of all time. Actually changed me as a person for the better. And also, fun fact, One Way Out, the episode came out on my birthday, so yeah, I'm very happy about that. So yeah, 10 out of 10 show. Amazing. Would recommend it to everyone. Even if you're not a Star Wars fan, watch this show. This is what The Hunger Games wishes it could be. Hunger Games isn't even that bad. It's just kind of fine. First one's fine. Catching Fire is good. Then, you know. But this is what the Hunger Games wish it could be. With its political messaging. And the way it goes in depth with the politics. Instead of like the fucking Boys, for example. Where the Boys is just like, political stance. Doesn't go in depth about it. Just no substance to it. Just saying it for the sake of saying it. Marty Supreme. This show. I mean, this movie is something else. Let me just say. This movie is like watching a fucking car crash happen in slow motion, and you cannot help but walk away. This guy, this fucking guy is such a little asshole. But the way, like, the thing that keeps you invested about him in this movie is just his determination, his ego, his unwillingness to yield to losing. He refuses to fucking lose. And his entire thing of like, it is literally just like what a white boy would do to go to Japan in 2025. It is literally just this movie. The amount of shit that he gets into, like, when you think it can't get any worse, like, if you think like he can't get in a worse situation in this movie, the movie's like, nope, let me show you how he gets in a worse situation. It is crazy how the situations that this man gets himself in. Like, look, this isn't even like he looks distressed here. This isn't even the most stressful part of the movie. There are way more stressful parts. It is fucking crazy. And the way, like, I'm not gonna spoil this movie because I know some people haven't seen it, but this is a cautionary tale. This is like Whiplash, where it's a cautionary tale of the pursuit of being perfect, the pursuit of success. It is a dangerous game because at the end of the day, it is a curse. You are killing yourself for a title that is eventually going to replace you. You cannot be the best forever, and you are killing yourself to be the best. Now, I do think that having that determination is a good thing. Like, at the end of this movie, I was inspired. I was like, holy fuck, I need to lock in. But at the same time, you do not want to be like this guy. This movie is like, yeah, sure, having good determination is good, but do not be like this guy. This guy sucks. He ruins everyone's life. Like, every single person who runs into him has their lives ruined by this guy. I'm not going to go into exactly how, but if you know, you know. And the dialogue is also snappy. This movie's fucking funny. It's well-paced. It's extremely well-paced, actually. Where, like, it's a 2.5-hour movie, but it feels like 30 minutes. Like, this movie isn't even about ping pong. This movie, like, is about ping pong for, like, 30 minutes, and the rest of the 2 hours are just, like, Marty Mauser getting himself into situations that are fucking crazy. So, yeah, I like, Timothée Chalamet needs his Oscar. That's all I'm gonna say. Because the marketing for this movie was fucking crazy. And his performance in this movie is amazing. As usual. I'm not surprised anymore. I was, like, unsure of it when Dune came along, but when I saw Dune, I was like, yeah, no, Dune. Timothée Chalamet proved himself. And when I saw Dune Part 2, I'm like, oh, Timothée Chalamet is a great actor. It's the Robert Pattinson effect of, like, everyone thought that Robert Pattinson was a bad actor after Twilight, but then you watch his other movies and you're like, oh shit. The Batman proved everyone wrong, but I was a Robert Pattinson defender since day one. Ever since Good Time, which is another Safdie film. If you've seen Good Time, if you've seen Uncut Gems, you're gonna like this movie. This movie is for you if you've seen Uncut Gems. Or, you know, any other movie. Sorry, I need to take a swig of this because, like, otherwise my throat's gonna get dry. So yeah, see you with this movie in theaters while you can. Might be, I don't know, I didn't see this movie in 2025. I know it came out in 2025. But it's definitely up there as one of my favorite movies of 2025. It is such a cool ass, like, it is such a fun movie. It is stressful. Do not watch this movie if you get stressed out easily. I was on the edge of my seat. I was literally pulling Allie thumbnail poses. Like, like every few seconds. I went to this movie with a friend. They were like, after the movie, they were like, yeah, I was entertained by the movie, but I was more entertained by the fucking faces you were pulling during the movie because I was so invested. I felt like I was Marty Mauser in this movie. I felt like I was in debt to, like, I thought I was gonna fucking die at some points. That's what we called method acting, or method audience acting. I have no idea what you call it. Feeling like you're part of the movie. This is ultimate investment here. So yeah, this movie gets a 10, maybe a 9.5. There is, like, some moments that feel a little bit contrived, but at the end of the day, I don't think it matters because the movie would have played out the exact same either way. So I think I'm gonna give it a soft 10, but again, maybe I'll be rewatching my, like, you know, maybe I'll do a stream where I rewatch my old videos and see how I do with number scores and see if I think that's right. Maybe we'll do that in future. But yeah, this movie's getting a 10. Now for what I really wanted to talk about. This is the show that I've been wanting to talk about for ages. I've been wanting to talk about this show ever since it came out. I wanted to make a video on this show, and I just never got the chance to. I was just way too busy, and I never got to talk about it, but I'm really happy that I'm talking about it here. I think it is so cool how lesbianism, like, being a lesbian character, the protagonist, who's a lesbian, it's really cool how it's actually important to the plot. Like, this is, I don't think I've ever seen in a long time that lesbianism plays such an important part to a movie or show. Like, this plays such an important role. It's basically, it basically dictates what happens in the show. And a lot of people are calling this show slow, but I think a lot of people didn't watch Breaking Bad season 1 or Better Call Saul season 1 because, sure, the show is a little bit slower than both of those, but I'd say that, like, it's basically playing out how any Vince Gilligan show plays out. Like, the first season is probably going to be the weakest one, and then over time, you know, each season builds up drastically. I'm very interested to see how season 2 plays out, because the way they end it, I have no idea. I mean, I obviously know that that Manusos and Carol are going to work together, but I'm very interested to see this. This is by far my favorite premiere season from Vince Gilligan, though. I fucking loved this. Even though I went on record for the longest time saying that Better Call Saul season 1 is the best thing that the best premiere season, the best first season that Vince Gilligan has ever, and Peter Gould have ever put out, and I doubt they'd ever reach that level again with Pluribus. And they did. Some of the shots in this show, by the way, are like fucking gorgeous. I'm sorry, this show has like some of the most beautiful cinematography I've ever seen in the show, and it's crazy. Like, I got a shot. Like, look at this shot. Oh my god. How do you do that? Look at this. Oh my Jesus Christ. I'm sorry, but like, Better Call Saul had some great ass cinematography, but what I love about Vince Gilligan and his shows is that he takes what he learns from the previous show and he carries it over. Although, okay, if I would say one problem I had with this show, like only one, and it's like a slight nitpick, this affects nothing, is that some of the shots feel kind of contrived just for the sake of, like, so they can be a little out there, because, you know, Vince Gilligan never uses the same shot twice, so he always chooses to use a different shot. The problem with this is that it feels like there's some shot choices that are just kind of contrived. Like, no one holds a DVD up like this, I'm sorry to say. But still, regardless, it looks great. There is like a couple moments of green screen, but like, I don't know, I don't care. The character, oh my god, the character development with Carol. This show loves saying nah, like, the show loves using as little dialogue as it possibly can, and it really shows, and it really pays off. The show uses hardly any dialogue. It uses Racey Horn's facial expressions as a way of visually telling the story, and they use it so well. And it's really sad that people are not responding to the show that well, because people just think that Carol is a fucking asshole, even though this is how everyone would react, to be honest, in this show. Like, if we were in this situation that Carol was in, we would act the same way. And it's kind of sad that people are dogging on her for this, because she acts basically how Mark acts in Severance. Mark acts the same way, and he gets so much less hate for it, and it's kind of crazy. But like, Carol, for some reason, like, she acts the same way, but since she's a woman, she gets, like, you know, she gets fucked over for it. And I just love I love how the only reason that Carol is against the hive mind is because of her dead wife. If her wife didn't die in that, like, you know, in the infection, she would be pro hive mind all the way. And the thing is, she criticizes the characters for it in episode 2 of being like, oh, just because, like, you know, your loved ones are alive, you're all for it. But the thing is, she eventually comes around through Zosha. Fuck, I was thinking of Sturgia, where it's like Carol and Zosha, their ship name. But it's eventually through Zosha, she changes her mind completely. She's pretty much for it. And it's until Manusos comes in and he tells her to lock the fuck in that they do it. And I love how she's in the middle, because she's not, you know, she's not, I forgot this guy's name. That guy who's like the really fancy womanizer guy. I forgot his name. But I love how it's a whole spectrum. because he's on one side, Manusa is on the other side, and Carol is in the middle. She is not either side, and it makes for a really interesting dynamic, because she has to make a whole, and like she has to make her own decisions, and she comes to her own conclusions, and the way she works through dealing with the hive mind, because season 1 is mainly just her reacting to the events. These are the first 2 months, so obviously it's going to focus on the characters' reactions. I imagine season 2 is them, yeah, Diabante, that's right, diabetes or something. I imagine season 2 is them gonna be locking the fuck in more, showing Carol. Oh, look at this, by the way, look at this fucking, oh my god, look at that, like that's, oh my, only in Pluribus. Yeah, Pluribus is so fucking good. It is my show of the year. It moves very slowly, and of course, it is a show where you have to give it patience. If you're not patient with the show, like Better Call Saul, and to be honest, parts of Breaking Bad, then you're not going to like this show. The show does not try to jingle keys in front of the audience. It demands your attention. It demands you pay attention to everything, and it works really well. Yeah, everything's so well done. Very, very close second. Yeah, I imagine when the future seasons come out of this show, I imagine that I am going to love this season even more. It is already my favorite season, my favorite first season that Vince Gilligan has made. And it beats, I'm going to be honest, it beats a couple of Better Call Saul seasons for me. It beats season 1 and 5 of Better Call Saul. That's all, I'm just saying, okay? Yeah, I think a lot of people would enjoy it on a rewatch. I think the first season the first episode kind of, mixed people's expectations of it, because they thought it was going to be this fast-paced action show, even though it kind of has to be fast-paced for the first episode, because it is the takeover. It is the infection takeover. Of course, because like that's where all the crazy shit happens. And oh my gosh, I'm sorry, I have to point out, it's only going to get bad. I'm sorry, but this entire fucking oneer is crazy. This oneer is so crazy. Look at this. This is so fucking cool. I'm sorry to say. The first episode is one of the best. I'm gonna say that the first episode is probably the best pilot I've ever seen. Like, look at this fucking oneer. This feels like a video game, like the way they frame it. The third person, like, camera angle, that's crazy. And it's so creepy, and like the breathing in the background as happens, and like because the singer's in the microphone, it's like, heh. Pluribus does horror better than most horror shows, better than most horror media. It's so crazy. I could talk about this show for ages, and I would love to. Like I could point out every single shot, every single thing that happens in Pluribus, and I would glaze it all day happily. But I won't. I don't know when I'll cover Pluribus. Maybe I might cover season 1 before season 2 comes out, because season 2 won't come out for a couple years. I kind of want to get that Better Call Saul video out at some point. It will come out. It will come out. The planning of the script is basically done. All I have to do is script it. All I have to do is edit, and then I have to publish it. That's all I have to do with the Better Call Saul video. And then I might make a video on El Camino, and then after that, I'll work on Pluribus, because I have so many thoughts. I love how this show leaves so much up to your interpretation. Like, everyone's like trying to theorize about the hive mind, right? Everyone's like, oh no, the hive mind could be good, the hive mind could be bad. I love how much it leaves open to interpretation. Like, they are. And I don't imagine every question is going to be answered. And if a question will get answered, most likely it's probably going to be answered very subtly. Like, it's probably going to be answered in a way that's, like, in the background or something like that. Because, a lot of people are, like, already making theories about, like, the color theory in Pluribus and everything. And there is color theory. It has been confirmed that the colors do mean stuff. I'm trying to figure it out myself. But oh my god. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. I think Pluribus is a 10. I think if you haven't watched Pluribus, I think everyone at least needs to give the show a shot. Because I think anyone who watches the show will get something out of it in some way. And even the weakest episodes in Pluribus mog most TV episodes out there. Like the ones where Carol's just walking around Albuquerque. I kind of like the arcs of Carol just being alone on her own, because it really does hone in on the isolation aspect of being alone, part of her character arc, and making that grave for not Helen. Was it Helen? I think it might have been Helen. Yeah, it was Helen. For her like wife and everything. It's that sort of stuff that I really like about Pluribus. Like they go into depth with so many themes. Yeah, and the conversion camp. Yeah, exactly. None of the themes are ever underdeveloped. Every single theme that is introduced in the show is interwoven really well. Is all talked about. It is all explored so well, and I'm so fucking grateful for this show. I know some people aren't as big of a fan of it as I am, but I hope that changes over time. I hope this becomes more like a Better Call Saul situation where more people are gonna come around to it. I mean, the first episode crashed Apple TV servers, so I mean, we're getting as many seasons as we want. This show already has a very strong fan base. More people are gonna be watching. It's a Vince Gilligan show. We should not be worried about the future for this. And I know a lot of people are angry about the fact that, oh, we're not going to be getting a yearly season like Better Call Saul or Breaking Bad, but, like, not only is this show more expensive to make than Better Call Saul, because Better Call Saul was on a shoestring... Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad were on shoestring budgets because AMC fucked them over. Here, they are given more budget, they are given more time, and I would prefer that. I want them to take their time. I don't care if I'm fucking 50 when the show ends. I just want them to take their time and make the show perfect. That's all. If they can do that, I'm happy. If this is the last show that Vince Gilligan ever makes, I'm fine with that. Yeah. Season 2 is going to bring in a lot more people like Severance and Andor. I feel like it kind of did bring in a bit of the Severance audience, because a lot of people are like, hold on, this isn't the same mystery box element. And it's like, no, it's not supposed to be. The show isn't like a mystery box. The show is a character study of Carol about a grieving woman trying to figure out her grief in an apocalypse setting, and it's such a simple premise, but it's so complex. So, what else do I want to mention about it? I think I have talked about all of Pluribus. Like, there's so much subtext behind every line, every scene, and I'm sure future plot lines have already been set up by, like, throwaway lines that are going to get recontextualized in the second season, because that's how Vince Gilligan does things. That's how his team does things, because he puts a lot of love in care. Exactly, it's not J.J. Abrams. Although, he does have a kind of a similar style to J.J. Abrams, where where his team and him go in with no plan, and then they just they just try and box themselves into a corner until they work their way out. The difference between like him and J.J. Abrams, though, is that he actually is smart enough to work his way out of those boxes and create very clever television through it, and J.J. Abrams just fucking contrives a bunch of bullshit from his ass. That's the difference, and he works really well without a roadmap. I think it's kind of cool that he doesn't work with a roadmap, even though it's a bad idea. Don't do that. Obviously, plan your shit out, but he does say that he has a better idea of where the show is going to end, compared to like Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad. So I'm very curious as to what. I do not think this show is going to have a happy ending at all. I don't think that the show I think the show is going to be kind of depressing as an ending, because it is already depressing enough. I don't know. At least it's either going to be bittersweet or sad. It's not going to be happy. The season 1 premiere release date is going to be... the season 1 rewatch party. We're definitely going to do that. As soon as season 2 gets announced, we're doing a rewatch of this entire show. Because it is so good. This show is so fucking good. yeah, Vince is gonna traumatize us. Yeah, and I'm glad I could get you onto a Vince Gilligan project, David, because like the problem is that Breaking Bad is not everyone's cup of tea. Better Call Saul is way better, and I'd say Better Call Saul would be your more pace, like be more your cup of tea. But unfortunately, you gotta watch Breaking Bad because of it. So the fact that we have a new Vince Gilligan show to get everyone in, because not everyone likes the crime drama aspect of Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. A lot more people are into this kind of thing. And I think the fact that instead of Vince being a one-trick pony of just making crime drama shows all the time, like he was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna make a sci-fi show. I'm gonna prove to everyone that I am talented in any genre possible. And it's cool that he's gotten his team back. He hasn't tried to get a different team. It's cool that a lot of this shit is practical. Like Carol's house is practical. It was all constructed, and unfortunately it's guarded off. You can't access it as a set. They made a whole house and set. It's fucking crazy. You'll restart. Yeah, I'd recommend restarting Breaking Bad one day. I think once you finish it and start Saul, that's when you'll start liking it, because Better Call Saul is very much like this, in terms of pacing and everything. But yeah, final thoughts. Best show of the year. Best when this might actually be my favorite show of the decade. Like I'm not even gonna lie, this might be my favorite show of the decade so far, because I mean there's been a lot of good shows so far, but season 1 has really impressed me, and I'm confident that it is going to be great the more it goes on. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. I'm gonna give Pluribus season 1 a 10. Obviously, I don't think anyone's very surprised by that. I think y'all were kind of expecting it from the amount I was glazing it before. So yeah, I think that's everything from. Yeah, it's a -1 out of 10. Fuck this show, actually. You know what? The show sucks. It's boring. Where's all the action? I say as there's an action scene right here. Where's all the action in Pluribus? Fuck this show. You know what? Pluribus gets a 1 out of 10. Yeah, I think we've covered everything. I don't think I think I'm fine with not talking about anything else. Of course, there was more that I watched this year, but I don't know. I'm pretty satisfied. We've gone on for quite a while. Yeah, and bore. Yeah. Oh yeah. Pluribus. Yeah. Because like the pit has already it's kind of close to spinning its wheels, whereas Andor is. Pluribus is constantly fucking innovating. I'm talking like this is the best thing ever made, and to be honest, in my mind, it kind of is, because I glaze Vince Gilligan constantly. But yeah. My trip to Albuquerque as well definitely helped me appreciate this a lot more. Like, I appreciate Albuquerque and the setting so much more after having been there physically. It's beautiful. Maybe one day I'll, talk about my experience in Albuquerque, more thoroughly, maybe in the Better Call Saul video or something. But, Andor stopped at the part. Yeah, it did. I think it was a perfect end to Star Wars, and everything else is fan fiction. I'll make a Mandalorian and Grogu video one day. I'll make like a short video when it comes out. When does it come out, actually? When the fuck does this season come? Actually, what is this? Oh, I'm so really scheduled. I've already seen that. 22nd of May. Oh yeah, so basically fucking got plenty of time. I was worried for a second because I was like, if this is getting a March release date, I'm fucked. But no, it's fine. Alright, so I think I'm gonna end the stream there. Yeah, I think I've covered everything I want to cover. I will be streaming again in a few days for Resident Evil 9, so if anyone is curious about that, I will be streaming it. It should be, my Resident Evil video should be out before I stream the game, so hopefully you'll get a lot of content to chew on. Yeah, we're gonna do like a Born Again watch party for sure. Yeah, if I might just plug some stuff. If you haven't subscribed to my Twitter, I'd recommend following me on Twitter. If you haven't joined the Discord, I'd recommend joining that as well. Other than that, thank you so much. It feels nice streaming again. I like streaming in small doses like this, where we all gather around every so often and do one of these things. And I'll see you all again for RE9, because I'll be using it as gameplay footage for an RE9 video. So anyway, yeah, thank you all for joining me in the stream. I know it was a long one, but I'm glad we got there. Thank you, Red. Thank you, David. Thank you, everyone else who joined in. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all whenever I see you all, whether that be for my next stream or my next video. Have a good one, everyone. Take care, y'all.